Hey, hey.
Hey, I hit the button though, but I don't think anyone's here. We're doing this in secrecy right now.
Okay, hey, I played a game last night by a renowned fan who you might know as Ultimate Maverick X. He's a sprite artist, he's an animator, he's a general artist, just a popular person in the Mega Man fandom. And,
Go on.
game, which I think would very much behoove us to check out live.
I'm good with all that except for the word behoove. I don't even know what that means. You're kind of cutting out there.
No, it would benefit us.
Ah. Is that what behoove means?
It's alright.
I thought that had to do something with horses or something. I think you're cutting in and out especially bad today.
Thanks, Comcast.
Gotta love 'em.
Okay, well, there's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately, except go into the Comcast building and bomb it.
There you go.
Oh, fix the problem, though. It'll just give me a means to vent my anger.
Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned scare? Let's see here. It's crapcom and comcrap. They should work together. Oh yeah. I hit live, by the way, so we're live. And there he goes. He couldn't handle it. He got stage fright.
And now can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the official Kepi Off the Moon live stream. As always, I'm Skybane0, and joining me today is...
Yoshinator, or AK, or... Hold on. Redo. Hello there. My name is Joshua, aka Yoshinator, aka playing Legends 2 today. It's looking quite exquisite, if I do say so myself.
Josh has the word exquisite in his vocabulary.
I just figured out that word like an hour ago.
Hey, Real Omega Zero and Lena Bro, nice to have you two on board. Head up on my screen when you have a moment.
I don't think I have a moment.
Oh.
There's too much
Just pretend.
action going on right now.
Okay, then I will enter into a state of deep meditation and visualize in the game right now.
That's the idea. Oh, wait, no, not that one. No. Almost turn on my webcam. You wouldn't want to see that disaster. Let's see. No. Sometimes it'll let me do it, and then sometimes it won't. Hold on. I gotta do the other way. What if... Is this... Will this let me control it? No. I don't know. I don't get it. Hold on. One day. Alright. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, nothing beats the traditional way. Carlbania Island. Okay, real talk, guys. Is the real way to pronounce that word? Is it Carlbania or Calbania? Because both pronunciations, or both forms of that word, are in the game. You know, in text form. So I don't know. Like I see both words used interchangeably in the fan base. So it's gotten me
It's like an Illinois situation.
Maybe that would give that would lend a lot of realism to this game, wouldn't it?
Yes.
If we had something like Illinois pronunciation. Oh. You take it this far.
They're actually gonna. Oh no! Ah! Remember, kids, 50 no's and 1 yes still means yes.
Have you ever noticed that the running animation for those two kids looks almost the exact same as the bird bots?
I guess it is, huh? Kids
Oh, that's what I think.
Oh, that didn't work. Oh, you can't even go in there. That's probably why it didn't work.
I guess we're getting bad, boys.
I'm a bad guy. Kick the piggies. Alright. There.
Oh, man.
I'm a bad
But if you do this, you won't be able to take the 100-question quiz.
Uh-oh. Then I better remain a good little Christian boy, then. Let's see.
Hey, what's up, Being Motive? Hope you're doing well.
Wait, this thing actually holds it. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's one of its functions. You could do a lot in this field, actually, and I would encourage you to look for those flying Reaver bots, the ones that kind of pop out of the ground and jump at you. I would encourage you to pick those guys up, find an elevated area, and, oh wait. No, that's beyond this area, actually. It's not, they're not here yet.
I feel like I'm supposed to go over there.
I mean, there's only one other exit point here. Nice. This is always my favorite room. If you want to call it a room, in Legends 2, because I mean there are technically 2 open plains on Calbania. This being the first, and you're approaching the second right now. But the first always remained very memorable to me because there are only like 2 enemies in there, you know, and they're both of the same variety. And they're just like running around, you know, that big open field, and it paints a really nice mental image, I think. This place is a little more, what's the word I want to use? Okay, yeah, let's pick one of these guys up and see what we can do. But this place is a little more random, you know, like any enemy can come at you. You don't quite know what to expect. And it's cool in that regard too, but it's just anticipate. But yes, we're doing some genuine cuckoo flying here.
Is there a place you want me to jump off at? Or?
Unfortunately, you can't take practical advantage of this. Like, you can't fly to anywhere that you can't normally reach using this technique. It's pretty much just a fun exploit that's there for the sake of being there. You know, for the sake of experimenting with. But hey, I mean, what it's worth, it is still pretty cool. Kind of grants more validity to that famous claim that this is kind of the Legend of Zelda series in Mega Man.
Yeah. Ah, hey! Oh, how dare you?
There's not a whole lot you can do when you're holding it, unfortunately. You know, I was kind of down-talking this room in comparison to the last room we encountered, but I think this place is really memorable as well for just the huge atmosphere. But we're getting into some real... Oh, you could have entered that ruin over there. Do you want to...
That's where they got you.
Yeah, you know, I think that you're going to forget about that later on, so... You might want to spend some extra time.
I don't think so. It's probably too hard for you. There's a wall on the other side that you may get through, but it's
essentially
really
humanoid bird bots.
Anyway, come with us. You'll see.
What? Wait, you'll get hurt.
talking to one of our followers. His name's HF. He's, for those of you who might know, he's the guy behind the Rockman Dash Legends fan comic that you might have seen around the web. And I was talking to him the other day about the PSP port of Mega Man Legends 2. And I was specifically asking him as to whether the prices, you know, for the items and such were toned down in that release. Apparently they were, with the exception of one item, of one weapon that was scaled up for upgrading. You know what that was? Scaled up. It was the only item, the only weapon that was scaled up for upgrading. You know which one that was?
Which one?
The ground crawler, the one you're using right now.
Oh, that's a random one.
Oh, yes and no. You remember last time we were playing this, and you were commenting on how that was like the only cheap thing to buy in Legends 2?
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, and I think so. In that respect, I think it was more of a balancing issue. You know, like the developers wanted to tone down the prices to make the balance just right, but they didn't want to tone it down so much to where, you know, you weren't grinding a bit. And with the ground crawler, you know, you barely have to grind for it at all in this game just because it's so cheap. So this place is gonna be a bit difficult, I think, for you. So don't hesitate if you need to exit, and you know, because Data will be right outside the door when you leave.
Exit now?
Now, but like when you clear the first room that you're going into, yeah, just head out and save with Data, who's going to be right outside the door. Oh, but yeah, this place is really hard on very hard mode, so I do highly encourage you to save frequently.
I will.
I assume I'm not breaking up anymore, so that's cool.
Excuse me, I seem to have been captured.
Oh boy, Shu, I can't help but think is just a basket case of sorts.
Keep your trap shut. Huh? Intruder! Intruder alert!
I mean, I'm sure she's trying her best, but it doesn't quite seem like she knows the trouble she's in most of the time.
Mission start.
It's how well you do with the ground crawler, and it definitely has its applications in these fortress fights, but the flying bird, like those ones right there, yeah, they might not exactly be optimal. That's what your buster's for. Hey. Yeah, you know, don't be stingy with how much weapon energy you want to use, because you are going to be exiting to Data pretty frequently to recharge your energy. See, that is the question, C. Felix. I have a feeling it has to do with the fact that Shu and those two boys were like the only residents of the island, and god dang it, the Glides feel they had to kidnap somebody on the island.
They were the only ones. Alright, nice.
Yeah, that's it. And there are a lot of fan theories, actually, some very fascinating ones, as to why Shu and the two twins are the only residents on the island. There's a very popular fan theory going around that it was because at one point in time, Calbania Island was reinitialized by... Well, okay, you can see it right in the background over there. You see that big Eden-like object? They're right over there. Yeah, there are theories going around that was another Eden. And when you look at its design, you see that it bears a very close resemblance to Eden from Legends 1. So, yeah, I'm not gonna rule out that possibility at all, as morbid as I think it is. One thing I think, though, is that if the island were reinitialized, then the timing wouldn't exactly be logical. there are a few events that transpire, which they seem to interfere with the possibility of a reinitialization. So I don't know. But in any case, going already. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like Shu, Appo, and Da have a whole lot of money on their hands. Maybe they have something else, though. And that's, I think, another, that also lends itself well to a lot of fan theories. Like, okay, maybe it's just for comedic value, but, I mean, maybe there was a genuine reason why Shu was kidnapped. Maybe she knew something that, like, knew something about one of the secrets of the island that Glide needed to get into the ruins. I mean, hey, you never know. I think that would actually be a really...
Yeah, that was my fault.
Do you think that that would be neat to explore? You know, like, Shu is like one of the only residents on the island. Maybe she does know something that nobody else knows, and which is very relevant to like the ancients and the ruins and the keys. So you never know. Yes, Blue Metal, we have the planes, and Josh is equipped with a ground crawler, so not exactly optimal.
I just realized you can't, or can you? You can't do free aiming like you could in the first game, right? Because I mean, like, look at this. Like, I can't even lead the shots. Like, it has to go right behind him. It's so annoying.
Oh. Yeah, you know, when you exit this room, you might just want to equip.
Well, this wouldn't be an issue if I could actually aim. Like, stupid Buster, like, look at that.
Yeah, it's an issue.
It's gonna take forever.
Right. While there's not a whole lot going on right now, I may as well mention that probably toward the end of this stream, probably we'll be experimenting with a new little fan game that was recently put out, and I'm sure this escaped a lot of people's attention, but I'm sure a lot of, there's a very popular animator, sprite artist, and just general artist in the Mega Man fandom named Ultimate Maverick X, and you might know him from things like his sprite animations or Mega Man Zero, ZX, Legends, even a bit sprite animations on his YouTube channel. He is pretty popular in the fandom, and he just recently, I think just yesterday actually, he put out a Flash game on, believe it or not, on his DeviantArt. And it's a short little game. I want to say only about 10 minutes long, but it's really fun, and it's essentially a Mega Man crossover. The mobile game that came out several years ago. He shut down in Japan. But it's essentially a reimagining of Mega Man crossover with the classic jump and shoot controls that we all know and love from like classic Mega Man and X and all, the platforming Mega Man titles. But it's a really fun little title, and I hope later on in this stream we'll have a chance to play it. And not only for the solid gameplay that it offers, but also for a really cool little moment. Very satisfying ending with the second playable character you can unlock. And by the way, yes, you can unlock a second playable character. The first playable character is Over One, who is of course, the protagonist from Rock Band Crossover. But there's a second playable character that you can unlock after beating the game initially. And if you beat the game with him, you unlock a very satisfying ending that, if you guys can believe it or not, feels like it was made just for Legends fans. That's the main reason I want to kind of explore this toward the end of the stream. This is getting almost to a comical point now.
I just wish I could free aim. I didn't realize this game only has lock on. Can't even, like, look around.
I mean, that's what the second analog stick's for, of course.
Oh, right. Oh, I can't get it to work.
Well, you could just disable the lock on so then you can aim more freely.
Well, I can't. It's either manual or auto.
If you switch it to manual, then...
It is on manual.
It is.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
There's a way around this.
Well,
it is.
Not for my situation.
There is a way around this. See, I remember having lock-on problems with Mega Man Legends 2 before, and I was able to remedy them by disabling the lock-on and aiming more freely. Oh, I remember what it was. It was with the train battle. Yeah, if there are some lock-on issues in that fight, or at least there were for me. And yeah, I mean, I was able to disable the lock-on for that fight. I don't know.
Yeah, because it just keeps going where it was instead of going where it's going. So I can't, like, hit it at all. Very, very fun.
Glad it's going to be deeper in depth in the bonds at this rate. Yeah, I know. Imagine the, like, you're really drawing out the work rate.
Oh.
You can leave? Wait, what? You're probably gonna have to redo that whole fight now.
Well, whatever. At least I can bring a good weapon.
I didn't know you could leave if you didn't complete that room.
Well,
We're a
look
quitter,
at that.
huh? Okay, well that's a nice 5 minutes gone to waste.
See. Well, I want to see. Do I have to start over? Probably do. Oh, but yeah. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Let me go actually get a weapon that'll do something this time.
I would recommend the.
Oops.
Oh, that happened.
I was trying to do the jet skates.
I'd recommend the item you were using before, the
Buster Cannon.
The Buster. What was it? Buster Cannon. That was yeah.
Yeah.
I'd recommend that. I mean, if I were you, I'd up the power a bit, but
I doubt I have.
You know, because I mean, well, okay then. You can only do so much as you have money for.
Yeah, I was here thinking missiles are the other thing. Hey. Which way is it? Okay. What can I say? I'm addicted. Get away. Yeah. It's got 3 attack on it, so
Okay, that's not
should
terrible.
be good enough. Let's see, I bet if I didn't leave, I'd still be doing that fight right now.
Well, there goes your momentum.
There goes my speed run. It's over now. That was the one thing that killed it.
Dang. Rip.
Yep. Rip in peace, indeed.
Mission start.
The only downside I see to the Buster Cannon is that it's pretty low on ammo. Oh, you better switch back to
Yeah.
an actually effective weapon.
That's why I'm rid of this guy.
Oh, that's neat. The Emotive saying here, you know, recently I've been teaching myself how to do 2D modeling in Blender, learning from Legends models for low poly. That's neat. Yeah.
Okay, look at that. I only took one down.
Whoa.
Oh, that one's good enough. Okay. Then we gotta kill all these.
Yeah, you might want to... Yeah.
I don't need more flying boys.
Yeah, again, don't be stingy on the Buster Cannon ammo, especially since you know you can leave.
Yeah, well. Hey. No! Stop.
Oh, by the way, for the uninitiated, we uploaded episode 3 of the Holland Island arc of our Mega Man Legends 5 Island dub yesterday. So again, we did recently revive our Mega Man Legends 5 Island dub. And, yeah, from now on, we're going to be uploading episodes on a weekly basis. So every week, every Friday, you can expect there to be new episodes on our YouTube channel. So check those out if you want to find out more about that game. It's a really nice little game. So, yeah, surprisingly
Key anywhere nearby?
engaging,
You should be
I
able
think.
to open the gate with it.
If I didn't switch this weapon, I'd still be doing this.
Yeah, you would.
Can't say over that one. That's how you get the bad ending.
Dude, we're pretty good. You know, Dash, of course, just nails Walnut. And the Hopi-chan wasn't bad either as Roll, I think. I was happy to see it. And you know, me personally, myself personally, I can get really picky with English voice acting. So, good luck entering that door.
I was trying my
So,
best.
yeah, I mean, so like, because I could get so picky with English voice acting, I didn't quite know how everyone else would, would like the voices in our dub. But I was very surprised to see that the vast majority of people enjoyed the voices and thought they were very good. So that was nice to see. I thought they were good too, of course. I just anyone else would enjoy them.
No, stop. No, hey.
Yeah, they can really chain you.
God. No.
Dang. Oh, man.
Right? Oh my god.
Yeah, this ain't working out.
Well, there I go.
And welcome back to Very Hard Mode.
Yep. It was a nice little breeze where I forgot, but now life hits you fast, that's all I'm gonna say. And then you die.
Yeah, if for nothing else, and granted, I hope that's not exactly the case, but the Mega Man Legends 5 Island dub it's a really fun, it has really fun story moments with some great character interactions, and overall, that's how I would describe the game. And granted, I never played it myself, but the story and the character interactions, they're all just really fun. And, I feel like they truly do engage you in the same way that the Legends series did. Like Legends 1, 2, Misadventures of Tron Bonne has that same vibe. Yeah, and that's why I really do encourage people to check it out, Legends fans specifically.
Hey.
Yeah, you're not doing anything there.
Yeah, I am. See?
Oh, nice. I really didn't think you were doing any damage there. Can you get that block, though?
No.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh, cool,
no.
nice. There goes that.
Well, there goes their lives. Stop it. God, come on.
This is where it'd be nice to jump while firing your special weapon.
Can't, can
Oh, but it would be helpful if you could. Nice, there we go.
This one right here. Oh, come on.
Isn't bass playable in the new Smash?
Nope.
To be completely honest with you folks, I thought Bass and Proto Man were kind of oddballs in that cast anyway. Oh, snap. Just being weird, but
What a thing.
you have to see this sea of blue Mega Man, and then Bass and Proto Man are just like in the background, like
That's cool.
I mean, it's neat to have their presence, but I just feel like it's weird to have like that break in the color scheme, and then they're like just like floating in the background somehow. So I don't know what that's all about.
His little hover jet thingies.
Okay.
Proto Man can go wherever he wants. He's always teleporting around. Doesn't even walk anymore. Just teleports everywhere. Thinks he's cooler than everybody. So him floating, I can understand that.
Oh, okay.
Alright, let's see. Invent Model ZX.
Yeah, seriously, Lino Bro. Like, where is Vent Model ZX?
Where's any ZX? Am I right?
Oh my god, seriously. There was, did you see that Mega Man timeline at the Capcom E3 booth?
I saw Tron Bonne there, and that's all I looked at.
Yeah, there is presence there. There's visual presence for pretty much every single Mega Man series in there, except ZX. Now, ZX is mentioned in the timeline, on the year it was released, it's mentioned timeline, but there is no visual presence in the same way that there is for the other Mega Man series. So, like, you see sprites from the different Mega Man protagonists. You see, like, Volmec wasn't there, but Tron was kind of like the representative for the Legend series. But there is no visual representation for ZX, and that's, like, the only Mega Man series that does not have visual representation. There's even Star Force has something there.
Yeah,
And Star Force,
and
as
Star
one of our
Force
other
is
members
stupid.
has pointed out, is like, I mean, I don't want to say it's stupid, but it's like as irrelevant to the classic series as you can get within the Mega Man timeline. So
It's because Sakurai likes it. That's why. That's why they just put it there for him. So they knew he'd be there.
if you want to know how I interpret that, it's Star Force crew members are on board Mega Man 11. Specifically with the music, there are Star Force music composers on board Mega Man 11, so that might account for that. But it always is just constantly getting left out of everything. So yeah, that's just to turn that full circle. I really wish ZX like Vent Model X maybe, because I think ZX would have broken the blue color scheme as well. But Model X would have fit right in. And in that respect, I really think he should have, been in there. Well, that's a good point, C. Felix. Who would represent ZX, given that there are 4 different protagonists? The way I see it, though, Vent was kind of the first ZX, or, Vent/Ale, and you can really kind of interchange those two when it comes down to it, because when they're in their armor, you really can't tell the difference between them.
There's no
Especially when it's like Model X.
Capcom owns all the Mega Man everything, so there can't be like a licensing issue.
I can say that for sure, because I have interviewed Takuya Aizu on several different occasions, and I've asked him about things about the Mega Man ZX series and about the Zero series, essentially the franchises that the series that they tackled under Capcom. And on so many different occasions, he told me, "No, I can't talk about those. They're the property of Capcom."
Yeah. See.
So yeah, I'm pretty certain it's not a licensing issue. All those rights belong to Capcom, and therefore they should have, perfect ability to talk about them.
I just want a little more energy. I feel like it helped me out. Just a tiny micro bit. But I guess, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I forgot. It was kind of a joke. Well, the thing that's not a joke. Little part into the news. Proto Dude reported this. That Mega Man 11 only happened because of the good sales to the Legacy Collection.
I was hoping to talk about that later on in the stream.
Oh,
what are your thoughts on that? Oh no, we can talk about it now.
Okay, yeah, I'm not really doing anything anyway. Yeah, it made sense to me. Like we tell people, you gotta vote with your wallet sometimes. It's like that's just how companies work. I think it is a tiny bit shocking that they wouldn't have done it at all if Legacy Collection didn't do well. I guess Legacy Collection's a really safe way to test the waters. Like, I doubt it really cost them anything to make that. They were just like, yeah, just put those ones on there. There you go. Give it some art. It looks good.
Hey, and you bring up a valid point there. Like, you would think an interest gauge has to have some kind of commitment or investment. No, that's the word I'm looking for. Investment involved in it. But you get the impression that, the Legacy Collection really didn't cost Capcom a whole lot of investments to put out there. So it is kind of weird in that regard.
Like, the safest possible way to gauge interest.
Yeah, it's odd. And, of course, then you have the whole issue of, like, does not... I don't want to necessarily say that Legacy Collection was low quality, because I think it was pretty high quality in several respects. But, Capcom had done so much of that kind of same thing over the last several years. Like, the classic Mega Man titles had been on every virtual console and every, classic service to boot in the years leading up to the Legacy Collection. So then you have to wonder about that. How much did those various re-releases have to factor into that whole interest gauge element?
See, because especially if you factored them, then it would make the Legacy Collection seem like even such a better deal. Because like like what every NES game on like Wii Virtual Console and Wii U Virtual Console is like $5. If you just get Mega Man 1, 2, 3, then you might as well just got the Legacy Collection and get 3 more games with it.
Well, that's true, yeah, as far as the value is concerned. Alright, and I'm bringing all this stuff up, posing all these questions, primarily because I just remember being so, like, initially so confused when I read about that. And I guess, you know, on the surface, it makes complete sense that Capcom would see that, you know, do another interest gauge thing before releasing Mega Man 11. But I just remember being so confused by the whole thing because, like, in the past, had Capcom done this interest gauge thing and not release a new Mega Man game after that? You know?
And like another thing too just seems kind of weird about that is like there has been like a lot of Mega Man like lately, like in a lot of things. Like ever since like the Smash Brothers thing, he's kind of been coming back up. So to kind of think the only reason that they're doing it is because the Legacy Collection is also a little weird to me too.
Yeah, it's just, it's a really confusing thing to me. And granted, I'm very happy to hear that we can have some, like, a better idea of Capcom's mentality after this. You know, it's good to know that they, you know, they give some validity to these collections towards potential sequels. I just wish we had some consistency, you know, a bit more consistency regarding that kind of mentality, because they've released collections after collections after collections over the last several years, and not just Mega Man, but, you know, various other collections. And so, you know, it's weird.
Not only that, but they're like, oh yeah, if a game wants a sequel, it has to make over $1 million. So like, and that's gone like both ways, where like it hasn't and it got one, and then it has, and then it doesn't get a sequel. And,
yeah, so I'm having a very hard time ascribing a pattern to Capcom's practices lately, and I find that really what's the word I want to use? I don't know. Doesn't quite do much for the security.
But I mean, like Capcom's in a good spot right now. I mean, they just had Monster Hunter Worlds, which is their greatest selling game of all time, and then at E3 they showed off Devil May Cry 5 and Resident Evil 2, which is what people have been wanting for like ages. So I feel like they're finally like, you know what? Maybe we do like money. Maybe we should listen to these people.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you.
So I think good things are about to happen. So I mean like think like this whole year, right? They got like the best Monster Hunter. Well, I mean it's kind of the best. I don't know. Sometimes I think 4 Ultimate's the best, but Worlds is pretty good. And then we're getting Mega Man 11, and they showed off Devil May Cry 5 and Resident Evil 2. It's like so many like Capcom titles, like, right? Like people have been wanting, and they're like, well, here you guys go. Like, it's good.
Yeah.
I thought
so
they had a very good E3 this year.
So too. So yeah, in the end, yeah, I would
All right.
agree. I'm just, well, I just want to see some consistency. You know, like this stuff's all great, and I want to see it keep going. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, Capcom has had such a record in the past of doing something awesome, then doing something lousy, and then doing something awesome again, then doing something lousy, and it's just been this continual spiral. You know, this spiral that has seemingly no end. So I just want to see some consistency. If I can see some consistency in these great titles being released, then that'll make me happy.
Well, I think this E3 is marking some change for them. That's what I feel like.
Well, that's very, very welcome.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that way. I mean, like they had like a huge like Mega Man panel, like you were saying, with all the like characters on the timeline wall, the like picture booth with Mega Man and Rush on it. And
oh yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I want to give them mad props for doing such a great Mega Man booth this year. Like I haven't seen I haven't seen Mega Man love of that sort coming from them in, God, I want to say like 10, 20 years. Like, the biggest celebration I can remember that Capcom did was like, for the 10th anniversary Mega Man celebration.
Yeah.
That I'm not sure how many people remember that, but it was a huge celebration where they had all this stuff going on. And this booth at E3, I feel like it was following right in the footsteps of that. You know, with this there was a great Mega Man booth, an amazing photo op, which I would have killed to have been a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just that timeline again, and the great visual representation from everything aside from ZX. And you know, you got to play. There were like test booths for Mega Man 11 and the X collections coming out.
Yeah.
Just some really great stuff. So yeah, just mad props to them for doing something of that scale. And God, I am praying that kind of love continues.
Cause I mean, like, I was just thinking, like, oh yeah, it'll be cool. They'll have like Mega Man 11 there, and probably have like 4 TVs for it. You know, it'll be cool. But no, they went all out. They were like, no, we like Mega Man now, right? He's cool again. So check this out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, which is great.
And then he's also in the new Smash Brothers. I mean, I know everybody's in that new Smash Brothers, but you know, he's in there. And not only that, he also was part of the Ridley trailer, which, you know, is like the most requested character of all time. So it's like, I know that's I'm 90% sure Capcom didn't have a word in it. They were like, hey, put Mega Man in this. The kids will love it. I'm sure Sakura's like, you know what, Mega Man's pretty cool. Let's put him in there. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Things are looking up for the blue guy. I believe in him.
Yeah, I do too. And even better, I think, belief from people who are directly involved in, or who have power to revive him. So, yeah, good stuff. Bro saying, I hope the X Legacy collections do very well so that we get a Zero and ZX collection.
They are gonna do phenomenal. I can only think they would do great, if not greater than Legacy collection.
Oh, absolutely better than Legacy.
Everyone's like, oh, I like X way more than Classic.
Oh yeah, those games are gonna do phenomenally. Like, there's not even any question about it. And of course, X9 is gonna follow directly after that.
Yeah, the only downside of the X collection is one of them has X7 on it. So.
Well, I mean, I remember seeing a tweet from Ash Paulson of Game Explain explaining that, at the very least, the game has better load times.
yeah, that's fantastic. That's what people were complaining
so,
about.
I mean, just a couple people were complaining about that. I don't think the menus have been fixed. I don't think the mechanics.
You're giving me Vietnam flashbacks right now. Like, God, I can't stand that game. Like, I literally just hate. Like if they were like, if they decided they hate Mega Man, they would just release X7 every single year, and they'll be like, trust me, guys, it's better this time. Oh, it was way easier this time.
Yeah, that's what some good Mega Man talk will do for your gameplay.
Yeah, see.
Don't forget the fried chicken. Never forget the fried chicken.
I won't.
That's one of the few missable items in this game, actually. But yeah, you know, Zero had a collection, and I think that was a great one. That would be cool too. I have to wonder how they would warrant the ZX collection though, because there were only 2 games made for that series. So like
ZX double pack.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so would they like do a double pack with? Because they did stuff like that in the past for things like the 2 Mega Man PSP remakes, and Legends 1 and 2 for the PSP. They did a double pack for that as well. So I can see that within the realm of possibility, but you know, I'm not sure about the viability of that kind of thing. Because again, there were only 2 games in that series. It would be cool though. Man, I just want to see ZX get some love.
Me too. We're the 2 biggest fans of ZX.
I'm very glad to have you on board.
Yeah, I just wish it wasn't on the DS. It's more annoying to stream. It's on something else.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Tanks is.
Oh my god. Get off me. Oh man. Is there enough bullets flying around? What are you even looking at? Oh my god. No.
I'm ever saying I want my Legends coming to PS4 or Switch.
Me too.
Yeah, seriously. Even if just in form of those ports, you know, those ports that were very recently released on PSN, but like too late.
You can't get into the tower where they're keeping that woman from there. There's got to be a way in somewhere.
It's like barely any cover. It's like this wall. A little bit. No.
Yeah, and even that doesn't supply much cover.
Oh,
Yeah, this isn't gonna end well.
Jeez.
Did you want to switch back to the ground crawler?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'll try it one more time. You know, if I didn't switch to the Buster Cannon, though, I'd still be doing that first part.
You would, yeah. The Buster Cannon is killer for this section.
It's more poise. Too staggerable, I know. Legends. I was gonna call him Legends. Bolden needs to learn how to stand on his own 2 feet.
Leader is saying, I want my Legends on Xbox One.
Get him on all of them.
I'm sure there's not an ounce of sarcasm in that remark. Yeah, it would be cool.
The Xbox One has as many Mega Man games as the Switch does right now. Stop it. Come on. Oh my. Dude, no cover. This room.
You just don't jump.
This room had some great design put behind it. It's like, put cannons on the walls, have the tanks run at you, put exactly 0 cover. Make it look like there's cover, but there's not actually cover. And there you go. Room's done. Good job, everybody. Alright, we're gonna switch weapons. I guess ground crawler sounds good right now. Yeah, I could do homing missiles too, but homing missile isn't as cool as ground crawler. Like goes on the ground and walks around. It's made out of a bowling ball. Like how can you not like that?
It's a shame that the flare is located all the way down the boondies.
I know. Why isn't there no radio in this game? Come on. Come on, Legends 2. Get with the times. The first one had a radio. Come on. Jeez. You know, I'm gonna write an email letter to Capcom and be like, listen, if you ever remake this game, give me the radio or else I'm suing. I'll put it.
That's just what we need. That's just what they need, actually. A motivation to compel them to remake these games. That will give them the solid motivation they need.
It'll do it. Companies love to be sued. That's why they do it all the time.
Yeah. That's a profound remark.
That's my middle
And
name.
Error saying I'd also like the Zero collection to come to Switch that features ZX games on it with bonus features to cross the games, giving you the new Biomedal. Oh yeah, right. There were those the first ZX game had a GB8 support function where you can access some of the bosses from 03 and 04 by inserting your GBA cartridges of 03 and 04, you know, while playing ZX. Yeah, that was a cool feature.
Really? That's cool. I didn't even know about that.
I want to say you did try that out.
No.
I can't remember.
I don't have the.
But yeah, it only worked. Don't have the.
I don't have
what?
the GBA versions of any of the Zero games. Only the DS collections.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So yeah, you could fight. I want to say 4 bosses from 03 and 4 bosses from 04. The ones from 03 were Children Arabita, Blazing Flizzard, Death Tansman Tisk, and Devil Bat Skills. And in 04, you guys don't want to hear me spout off these overly complicated Zero names.
Just tell me the fire guy. My bad. Oh yeah.
Fire guy? Oh yeah, that fire guy.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that fire guy.
I already got fired. Let's make a big joke, Dickie.
But yeah, I would like to see another Zero collection as well. And granted, there was one already, but to be fair, there was a classic and X collection before the 2 legacy classic and X collections. So hey,
Mission start.
why not? Why not another Zero collection, eh?
There we go. That's what I
Swear to God, though, if they make it, it's doing damage. Nice. I swear to God, though, if they do make a Legends collection, they better call it the Mega Man Legends Motherload collection. That would just be passing up on an excellent opportunity if they didn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, like Splatoon 2, they passed up a great opportunity to call that Splatoon.
I'm glad they did it, because I think that's stupid. If they did that, I wouldn't put the 660 hours I have put into it.
Oh, dang, I guess they knew you'd be playing it then.
Yep. So I was like, you better not. Alright.
They adjusted their whole, plan to accommodate you. They were thinking, okay, you know, this guy who's going to plug 600 hours into the game is going to overcompensate for so many people, so we gotta accommodate him.
That's my name.
Mission start.
Now. Is the ground color maxed out, or what?
Yeah.
Oh. BN Motive saying we should make a Splatoon Legends team. Well, you can go to Josh's alley for that.
Wait, what do you mean a Splatoon Legends team? What did he mean by this? Oh, did I kill everything already? Man, I'm an unstoppable killing machine.
And I just gotta stack some boxes now.
Climb on? Try putting it under the window and see if you can reach it.
I remember having a lot of trouble with this section when I was a kid. For some reason. I don't quite know why.
It's because boxes are scary.
There's a big
This is
window.
true, to a degree.
I can see it from here. It's pretty high up. You'll probably need something.
Oh yeah, I remember now why. I had to jump to throw that. And when you're jumping to throw things, it's never fun.
Is that all I need? No. Hold on.
Oh wow, listen to this. Blue Metal saying, funny enough, you can use the boxes to go out of bounds, but it's awkward. Wow, you only needed 2 of them?
Pretty good, huh?
Huh. Yeah, you are pretty good.
Get him!
This fight is just hilarious. It's nothing like the fights you were dealing with before. You're just dealing with these little guys who are trying very hard to shoot at you, but can't get a shot off.
That's what they get.
I couldn't have done it without your brothers. Let's get out of here.
You're not getting away so easily.
Well, this posture right here.
Take you with us. Game's over, Mega Man.
I can never not laugh at that posture of that surfer. His head is turned like 80 degrees.
Possessed.
Can't stop the bomb from going off.
Or wait, no, 480. No, that isn't. That isn't right.
480
We can
degrees.
just get that gate open.
I'll say like
We have to
a
find the key.
I'll say like
This key?
200 degrees. That seems about right.
In the tower.
That's it.
But it's just a really awkward angle, you know. He's
Hold on to that
gosh,
key.
it's just seriously disturbing. Okay, now I'm interested to see how you fare on this part. You have a time limit here. 120 seconds. And all you really have to do is get those big tanks out of the way, and then you can carry Shu through the door.
Oh, stop,
Okay,
stop.
yeah, I think you're good. Yeah, you're acing it.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah,
I would
think
just
have
grab
to-
Shu right now and hightail it on out. Okay, that might just be enough. Now, you know, Josh, you can run right out.
Do you know where the exit is, Mega Man? The largest gate in the wall looks like the main gate. That's where you need
There we
to
go. Oh, of course he'd swoop right in. Alright,
Alright, see ya.
there we go. And that's the end of that section.
What a rudo.
Well, it took a few revisits, but overall I think it went pretty well.
Well, if I didn't switch to Buster Cannon, I'd still be doing that first part.
You did have to deal with a lot of tanks, didn't you?
Sure did. I got cute piggy. Yahoo. Just don't eat him. Eat if you get hungry. You know what sounds good right now?
It's good right now, Josh.
Chicken.
I agree. Let's eat that fried chicken you got in the Birdbot's base.
Exactly. See, that's I was getting back to that. Alright, is in there? There was something. Or well, actually.
Oh, the ruin.
Yeah. See, I remembered it. See, you're like, oh, you're not gonna remember, and I'm like, oh yeah, well I remembered it. So.
Good for you.
See, just like how there's nothing to. There. What the? Oh, the lid doesn't even flip up in this game. Oh, this game is the worst Legends game, man. I can't believe this.
I remember being mildly disturbed by that as well.
I'm not. I'm heavily disturbed. It's like that's awful. That right there. That's the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in Legends history. Is not being able to kick the bucket and the lid fly up. What are they?
Yeah,
what are they
I guess when you live in the countryside, there are a lot more hazards associated with keeping the lid directly on trash cans, and that's why you have to glue them together. You know, or something like that.
Trash in it.
I mean, not so much that, but like, okay, picture this. Put trash in it, then you seal it up. It completely prevents any smell from getting out. There's the practical application.
You have to put something pretty foul in there. Ah!
Okay, how about this then? You screw it on. It's easier, I think, and I don't know any trash can that does that, but we're in the world of Mega Man Legends, which is very mysterious, so let's just take it for granted there's a very practical purpose for screwing on your trash can lids, and just roll with it.
Oh my god.
Whoa, okay, you better concentrate now.
Okay. Scared me.
Berserk Blitz here is saying, wow, I just got done drawing fan art of Mega Man Vomit and Tron Bon, and they're streaming. Yes, we are indeed. And major props to you for drawing fan art of Mega Man Vomit and Tron Bon, because it's stuff like that that really keeps the fan base going. And, you know, I think that those kinds of things are underestimated, you know, with regards to how much value, you know, how much they impact the fan base. But rest assured that those things are constantly inspirational to, I mean, I can point to myself personally. I'm always very much inspired by the phenomenal Legends fan art I see put out by fans on a daily basis. And it keeps me motivated to keep, you know, do the things I do to support Legends. So, you know, even if you think you're only doing that fan art for yourself, rest assured that there are a lot of people who find inspiration in that kind of thing. And it really helps to build, the Legends love at the end of the day. So keep on doing stuff like that. I am always encouraging those creative efforts.
Yeah. And Power Meep, yes, this is on an emulator. But if Capcom asks, this is the PSN version. I mean, I do have it on PSN, but I don't have. It's my brother's PS3. I just bought it on there. I was like, that's all I did.
Who was going to a worthy cause?
Yep, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Wait, am I like going in circles or something? Okay. This is really confusing.
Power Meep is saying, let me know if you want my glorified macro that grinds the gold bird in the first ruins.
I might have to take you up on that offer.
That sounds really convenient.
Is this gonna hit? Ooh, it is gonna hit. Oh, wow.
Nice. It's crazy just how powerful that thing is for how little money, you're putting into it.
Oh, I like it. I can actually, do something in this game. Or at least in this mode, anyway.
Yeah. I'm happy to see that as hard as this mode is, we're making genuine progress with the weapons that we're getting. Gotta examine all the holes.
When do I get to upgrade my mustache? It's so weak in this game.
Yeah, it's one of the problems that comes of just the difficulty, I think.
But, I mean, not even that. It's just I can't. I can barely hit anything. If I'm not abusing the tap forward glitch, then nothing happens. It's
yeah.
It's like I have to rely on my special weapons to get anything done.
Mm-hmm.
So I turn in the next key. But that could be forever.
Problem is, the major problem with that is the next key is in the ruins that are the hardest.
Don't tell me it's the water one already. Is it the water one already?
Told me not to tell you.
No, I hate that one. Oh wait, did I actually get a buster part, or is that... Oh my god, I can actually... This is okay, I guess. Oh, this is a buster part? Oh wow. Oh wowee. Okay, let's use that.
Oh, nice.
I thought that was a roll weapon thingy part. Yeah, that's what they're gonna officially call it now in the guidebook. A roll weapon thingy.
Noble name.
Yep.
In very hard difficulty, the gold bird still goes down in one hit if you throw it right. Yes, indeed. Well, not so much in one hit, but a couple hits.
Like 4. It doesn't take very long.
Yeah. Which is really neat, Good to know there's at least one user-friendly tactic you can employ in very hard mode.
Without that, I don't even know what I would do.
Yeah, seriously.
So broke. Everything's too expensive.
I really want to explore the PSP version of this game sometime. Even if just to see how, how toned down the prices are.
Yeah. Well, I know the water ruin is better. It doesn't run at 4 FPS.
Yes.
Oh, the gold bird depends on that. Well, rip in peace, I guess. It's alright, it doesn't take me very long to do it anyway. It's chasing me. Oh, what the? I think it's spooky. Can't even hit it. I gotta pick it
Yeah,
up.
you gotta have a weapon of some sort.
This sword?
Yeah, that's one of the ideas. Um, I know you can destroy them. I just don't exactly know. You gotta have a certain weapon.
Let's see. Alright, we're gonna do this. Oh, come on. No! My worst nightmare from the life. Whatever. I guess it's not really doing anything. That's a big guy. Good luck to you.
Berserker Blitz, are you serious? Oh man, listen to this. I actually found out a few years ago that Tron Bonne was a part of the Mega Man Legends series from Did You Know Gaming. I only played Misadventures of Tron Bonne. Wow, that's crazy. I never knew a person who found out about Mega Man Legends from, you know, the obscurest of spin-offs, Tron Bonne.
That is pretty funny, actually. It's alright. You started off with the best character, so it's all good.
It's a very solid title
Yeah,
to start with.
I like it quite a bit.
Hey, Bluma, are you serious? They patched out the Gold Mirok exploit? Wait, in the PSP port? I mean, it still spawns in other places, but you can't respawn it during the same visit. Wow, that's crazy. I never knew that.
Alright, never mind. We're not looking at it anymore. That one's dead to me.
I mean, to be fair, you likely have less need of that golden bird if the prices are toned down.
What? Is there really nothing in here? Not even a hole?
Look to the ceiling. There's nothing there.
What in the H? That's it. This dungeon is banned.
Blumenthal saying, like, the first sub-ruin I left and re-entered the place for like half an hour straight, and only ever got the frog in the starting room. But yeah, thankfully prices are much more reasonable. Well, that's good to know. That's how I feel, personally. Like, if the prices are toned down, then, you know, I don't care as much about the golden bird.
Another nothing room. Oh, it's gonna be a door room. Oh no.
Oh boy. Well, that did the job.
Alright, excellent. No health or nothing?
Think that was quick enough?
Nope. Let's do it again.
How long would that have taken you in the S-Class Hunter test?
If I were to do that in the S-Class Hunter test thing, I would still be doing that one part from the Glides Fortress site level. That's how long it would take. It would take 5 ever.
It wouldn't have to take that long because there's a time limit, remember?
I try to
Makes
block
things all
out
better, right?
Every single part. Ooh. A huge shot.
Tractor.
Yahoo!
What's with that quirky tone, though? Seriously.
What the?
That's when yeah, I know. There have been times when I've seriously considered using that as my ringtone.
That'd be a good one. Woo! That was some Tony Hawk right there. Didn't even make it to the edge of my seat. Yeah.
Didn't even get a chance to shift.
See, I guess we're all good here. Looks like I got everything explored. Except for that one all the way over there. Let's see here. Oops. Yeah, okay.
I'd like to ask a quick question from our viewers here, and to a certain extent you as well, Josh. Did you ever have any problems with the menu in this game?
No.
Like opening the menu with the select button and then it's freezing on you after, when you were closing it?
No. I don't know if it's like the emulator or something,
Okay.
but it doesn't seem to be happening.
Potentially. Okay, maybe. There were various times, and I recall hearing this from other fans as well, where when you would exit the menu in this game, the game would just freeze on you. And that could be, you could remedy the problem by like, surprisingly enough, taking the disc out of your PlayStation and then putting it back in. As crazy as that sounds. But, man, I found that ruined a lot of my playthroughs before I found out about that, that remedy.
It sounds very haunted. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, someone get on that creepypasta.
I knew when I went to eject the disc as it was frozen, the disc actually turned to razor blades and chopped me off. Not only was the pain real, it was hyper realistic.
Okay, Blue Metal remembers that problem. And he says it was fixed in the PSP version. Great to know. He's also saying, I think you can also press menu button again to mess with it, but I kind of forget. Oh, huh.
That looks like every room. I need to do that elevator, but that's fine. I want to get my life back and whatever. I know they'll make the enemies spawn again, but I don't want to lose everything that I've collected.
Yeah. Best to play things safe, especially on very hard mode.
Yeah.
Power Meep saying, gonna say no because the bird opens up the menu a lot, and it was able to run for a few hours without the timing getting messed up. Okay, well, you see, grinding the bird was... those are the times where I noticed it was specifically troublesome, that problem. So, yeah, and, like you mentioned, I had to open the menu up a lot while grinding, and there were times when the game would just freeze on me, and I'd lose all my grinding progress. And this was, again, before I found out about that open-close remedy. But, anyway, it was quite problematic. And I don't think I had a bad disc or anything. It was just something that happened occasionally.
I had a bad disc.
Well, how come you don't remember the problem then? What's up?
It was so bad, didn't even exist.
I'm sure that makes some logical sense.
My disc actually said Bubsy 3D on it.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm glad to hear that nobody else had that problem, because it could get quite frustrating if you were unlucky enough to run into it.
Classic game. It's pretty classic already. You know what? Hold on. I just realized. Oops. Bye-bye. Should have... Oh, never mind. I was thinking of it backwards.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Well, it's just me now. Now I can say the funny. Oh wait, I went the wrong way. Or did I go the wrong way? Yeah, I went the wrong way. I gotta turn around. So I guess while we're all here in the same room, very awkwardly, what else did you guys think about E3? I thought surprisingly, Microsoft had like the best conference. I'm still a little in shock. I just thought they did really good. Like, they offered like 1 million games. They're like, yeah, we're getting this game and this game, and here's a game you probably want to know about. Like, I thought it was pretty good. And a very strong showing this year. Oops, 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 oops. Yeah, as like if we're looking at E3 as like best game, I would definitely think Smash Bros. Ultimate wins that. At least for me, personally. Kingdom Hearts 3 did look pretty good. So I want to go... Where do I want to go? I want to go across the hall and then... Well, what's up, Cocaine Johnson? How are you doing? Ooh, I got one to send me. Two of them? The shark game? I don't think I saw a shark game. You mean Sea of Thieves, or...? Yeah, well, streams are here. Oh yeah, we did explore this path. Oh, we are all done with this place then. Alright then, nice. We pretty much did it all in one run, so that's good. I thought I missed a floor, but I actually didn't. I wasn't activating my big thing, so... I can't stand the story in Kingdom Hearts. I think it's pretty bad. The only games I think have a good story is 358 Days Over 2, but then the gameplay in that one is the worst, so... It's a balancing act, I guess.
Right, I am back.
Welcome back. We're talking a little bit about E3 and it delved into Kingdom Hearts a tiny bit.
Oh yeah, nice. Good stuff, that Kingdom Hearts.
Yep. It's got Goofy in it, finally.
Isn't that neat? I was so happy to see they brought him back after he died in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yep. That part was so weird. Oh, have you played Kingdom Hearts? Wait, are you saying something?
2.
You what?
Testing, testing.
Okay.
Testing, testing.
I can hear you testing.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I've played pretty much all of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, when Goofy dies in Kingdom Hearts 2, that part was so weird.
It really was.
I was like, what are you doing?
I know, same here. It just doesn't work for such a
But for
bonkers
character named
character.
Goofy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you got to get your character development from somewhere, but a character like Goofy just doesn't lend himself well to character development.
Yeah. His name is Goofy. That's when the character development stops. Like.
Oh well.
I don't know. Oh my god. Yeah.
It does have some similarities to Kingdom Hearts. I would argue that you could find your way around the Legends 2 story easier than the Kingdom Hearts story.
Anything's easier in the Kingdom Hearts story. You can probably cure cancer faster than understand the Kingdom Hearts story.
I mean, I think you can find your way around the Kingdom Hearts story as well if you wanted to try hard enough, but it's just easier with Legends, because Legends had only 2 games. You know, well, 2 counting in the Tron Bond game as well. But Kingdom Hearts has all these games, and there's all kinds of stuff happening in them, and things are always being retconned, and you just have so much more going. Yeah, I know. Legends is so much more interesting, too, because it has more than 2 characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
But, you know, I'm joking about Kingdom Hearts all the time, but I really do love that series.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't want to... Yeah, I don't want to bash it.
I don't know what to upgrade, because all my years of grinding are going to go to waste in one press. And it's so discouraging. Alright, hold on. Actually, let me do 2 things really quick. Bonkers, get down. Get out of here. Wait. Oh, is it this room? No.
Haunted S'mores, I did not know anything about that game. That is a really funny concept, though.
Man, for real?
That's a good question, Reeks. How do you pronounce that?
That's a good question.
Or Rika. Rika Xnipa, I'll say. They also like to forget Goofy has a son. If Kingdom Hearts 3 will finally be the game that introduces us to Goofy's son. And you want to talk about character development, that'll give us some nice character development, don't you think?
Yeah. Uh-oh, hot dog. Maxie. Yup. Doors.
We'll talk to her again.
Talk to who?
Just talk to him. Oh, never mind. I thought you were in a different room.
I'm trying to find that girl that wants a pig.
She's not on the sulfur bottom.
What? Where is she at?
Or Nino. Nino Island.
Oh, is she on that one where the guy explodes?
Yeah.
Okay. What?
She's in a very empty-looking room there.
They look exactly the same. Alright. The end. Right, yeah, okay, now I know where it is. I know.
Okay, cool. And, I don't know why, but I love the way the story keeps you guessing in Kingdom Hearts. I think they just started making things up during Birth by Sleep, and that's what they are why they are trying to retcon now. Yeah, possibly. I mean, Legends 2 is the same way until you get to the very ending of the game.
Yeah.
You know, like, all the way through the game, you're constantly trying to figure things out, and, you know, just trying to find your way around the story. And you're making slow progress as the game goes on, but it's not until, like, the very end where like, all these facts smack you in the face. And I'm talking right around the point where, you know, Gats shows up in his battle form, and then he's clashing with Geats in the game. And particularly after you defeat Gats, where, you know, all the answers come to you in just one fell swoop, you know, they just hit you upside the head, if you know what I mean. But yeah, up to that point, the story really does keep you guessing in the same way as Kingdom Hearts, I think.
Any Kingdom Hearts to skip? Yeah, just get the collections. Those games tell you which games to skip.
That's one way to look at it.
I mean, they do. They just give you the story of it. I mean, like, definitely skip 358 days over 948 squared. That one, the gameplay in that one's pretty bad, but the story is actually not a huge mess. So, you know how it is.
It depends on who you ask with that one.
What? No, not 358 days over 948 powered squared 2.
I mean, there's a certain character in there that's the subject of some controversy.
Oh, I don't remember any character like that.
Yeah, I mean, somehow I can't remember I can't remember that character either, somehow.
See?
I don't know what it
Exactly.
is. But
That's what I'm
there's
saying.
something at the back of my mind that's saying there was a problematic thing with one of the characters in there.
I don't know. It's probably just their taste of ice cream. And sitting on top of a tower, just they can just like if they accidentally like slip a little off, they they go. Like, that's probably it.
Now I gotta wonder what's in that ice cream.
Bunch of sea salt.
Like, very unhealthy sea salt, I dare say.
I mean, it was blue. So there you go.
I'm very, very disappointed in all of you. You can't even capture a little island by yourselves.
5/8/2 is his favorite Kingdom Hearts. Okay, well, you know what? Ignore Josh entirely then.
We're done for.
The multiplayer in that game's pretty cool though.
What'll we do? We're doomed.
Bringing out the big guns up.
Why don't we try using the secret weapon you were telling us about?
Well, that won't make any difference.
Boy, this part,
Well, I'll fix it.
the,
Come on, Mega
you know,
Man.
what we're doing now, but later on,
back, Mega Man.
things that keep you guessing.
It's not hers.
After this fight, you have a serious headache.
Love having headaches. That's why we're talking about Kingdom Hearts so much.
Hey, thinking about Kingdom Hearts gives you a really helpful mental exercise.
Oh man, I didn't say it in a while. That would have been bad.
Voice acting, oh man, it's great. You know, I can't hear the voices myself, but watching the gameplay, like they come right back to me. I can hear the Guildmaster saying in that really corny tone, "Oh, fear, we're done for. They're bringing in the main ship. What'll we do? We're doomed." Just so exaggerated
don't
and
you think?
ridiculous.
There,
How can
it's
you not
fixed.
help
Here we
but laugh
go.
at that?
Huh? But
To a drooling idiot. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what happens
So
there.
what can they be up to now? Oh, doesn't matter. Never mind. Go ahead. Just shoot them. Fire glide missiles.
Rule.
Whoops.
Better,
Sorry, Mega
and I do
Man.
know better,
Looks like it
granted.
broke again.
I would think
It's
Glide
going
had
to
the
take a
same
few more
voice
minutes to
as
fix.
Intron Bond. They are very similar sounding to me.
No, they didn't.
Oh, no, they're different voice actors.
I think I might have to start over.
Mission start.
Wait, Aqua Blaster. Yeah,
I mean-
I have Ground Crawler, so
Really, if you're really terrible at the game and you set the thing on fire. If the thing doesn't get set on fire, then you won't need the Aqua Buster, but yeah, you're using the ground crawler, it might get set on fire. Unless you're good, which, you know, you might be.
I might.
Not for very long at all, either. Lifter is legit scrappier. Oh, that's right, you can lift up, you can pick up the missiles and, throw them away. Yeah, in the same way as the missiles in the train fight. Oh, missed one.
So,
There we go.
I probably could have caught that one.
Can't you do anything right? Oh, that's enough.
Okay, here's where
No
things
one's
get
so nice.
trippy.
We'll destroy the entire city. That way there will be nothing between us and the ruins.
Ultimate Glide Buster, fully charged.
Ready the ultimate glide buster. I was hoping we wouldn't have to use it, but they have given us no choice.
Hey, Kitty Sora, welcome aboard.
There. That should do it.
Arguably,
Here
in
we
what, well, in
go.
my opinion anyway, the weirdest cutscene in Mega Man Legends.
Rule.
It's working.
Oh god, what on earth is happening?
Wait, stop! What are you doing? If you keep
Watching, and I think I've recalled this story before, but the Game Informer super replay of this game, when they got to this part, they were like, "What on God's green earth is happening here?"
Wow, Rule.
I'm like that too, even to this day.
It was just capable of doing Jedi mind tricks. That's all. That wasn't as bad.
I guess so. I mean, some logical explanation would be helpful, though. You ever explain why they changed voice acting? For Glide, no, but for Volnut, yes. I believe the explanation for Volnut was that, well, Corey Sevier, by the time this game came out, he was like, 16, I think. 16. That's, yeah. That's, 16, 75, 25. How does, you know, not much difference between that. Yep. But by the time this game came out, he was like, and Grant, you know, keep in mind, this is 3 years after the events of, after Legends 1 came out. But he was like 16, 17 at that point, and his voice had, as you might expect, matured. So he didn't have that boyish tone that he had in, you know, when voicing Volnut in the first game. And that's why they decided to switch him out. The girl, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that myself. I personally like Volnut's voice in the first game myself. I think you could make an argument, and I mentioned this before, but like, I think you could make an argument that the voice execution is better in this game, but the tone in the first game is better than this one. Like, the first game, I felt like, you know, Corey Sevier, he nailed the tone, but he could sound... his execution of some lines could be pretty awkward at times. You know, whereas with Susan Roman, who voiced Volnut in this game, her execution was, in many cases, I think, very, very well done, but her tone, it just always felt awkward to me. You know? The best choice for young characters, in my opinion. Maybe so. I mean, if you can get a really good kid voice actor, I think that's the optimal way to go.
Yes, finally. Finally, my Mega Buster won't be worthless anymore.
Nice, we got
actually do something
the adapter.
with it now.
Oh, did you give the pig to that girl?
Yeah.
Okay, did you get the second line of dialogue?
No. Or wait.
Okay, if you just ended...
Where she's like, yeah, they're gonna make it into bacon, or what?
Line of dialogue where she rethinks her life and decides to keep the pig as a pet.
Oh, yeah. So it makes her not lonely.
So you know about that. Okay, good. I'm glad you knew about that, because the guys at Game Informer did not when they played this game. So, like, they gave the pig to that girl, and they only read the first line of dialogue, and they were immediately horrified, as you might imagine. They regretted everything they had done there, because they thought that she'd be eating the pig that they graciously gave her.
I'd eat the pig somebody gave me.
One of those things, though, where you seriously have to wonder, gosh, what would compel the developers to put that line of dialogue in the game?
That's the trick, yeah. Go
like, terrible.
Cause like
oh, did you visit the restaurant?
I don't think so.
There's a restaurant.
You got anything else for me?
Or me. They, young voice actors do have a tendency to age. there are some problems associated with the lava ruins as well. I'm looking at a specific chicken in particular.
I'd trade my life right now to go to the lava ruins.
Yeah, but I just wanted to touch upon Power Meep's comment that, yeah, voice actor, it is problematic to get young voice actors because they do age. So if you're doing a long-term role, they aren't exactly optimal. But here is the restaurant. I like dropping in here at least once every playthrough because I think it's cool to see
another plate of
an eatery.
Get her one plate of spaghetti. She doesn't even have one. She's got the biggest lobster I've ever seen in my life. But...
Gargantuan lobster. I'm pretty sure she's not going to have a good night's sleep after eating that.
Birdbots do eat you.
Yeah, they did have fried chicken in the cooler, so they are officially cannibals.
I mean, are they really though? Because I mean, they're just bots.
Oh, that's true. I don't know though. You don't.
Taking it back.
Salcata ruins are really cool, and they have their difficult moments. They are really... I love them especially for those jump scare moments. Especially with, like, you know, like in the hallways where you have the... who will bash his head through the room, through one of the windows if you're not careful. And it's moments like those which I think really encapsulated the jump scare element of Legends. And you know, when you think about it, I feel like there are more jump scare moments in the first game than in the second one. But that moment in the Salcata ruins where you get that big Reaver bot bashing his head through the window, that is genuine. Man, that is genuine jump scare.
Well, half of the first game is a horror game, so...
Pretty much, yeah.
It's bad. How do I get to the ruin again? I forgot.
Literally just jump in a manhole.
Is it, this one?
Go one floor down.
Yahoo? Yep.
Alright, it begins.
The worst.
I can't believe we're tackling this now, actually.
Be careful,
No, we
Mega Man.
should just
Don't
not
touch
do it.
things.
We should just go back. We should just go play Legacy
Be
Collection or something.
careful you
know?
don't get lost.
We could do
Yeah, I remember having...
You're doing
Like what?
I was gonna say we could just, let's just go play. Let's go play 9. Go to Splash Woman. You know, it's better. It's got water. It's good.
Yeah, that is a nice stage, I'll admit. The Snooze Ruins. Oh, key point. You do have the Aqua Shoes.
I do. I made sure I had them.
Okay, we're good then.
Oh,
Gotta get 100% on that map!
My legacy.
Ruins ASMR. Much. After strats. That's a really quick way of taking those things out, man.
Yeah, apparently. No, you're gonna die. And you're gonna like it. Hey, what the?
And you gotta throw it at something.
There we go. Yep, we're good.
There's something that looks like a large cliff in the room ahead of you. I'm not picking up any Reaver bots.
The haunting music is pretty nice. It not only characterizes the atmosphere of this ruin, but I think it also just is really soothing somehow. Which is a pretty weird mix, actually, when you think about it, because, like, I mean, I guess I just did say that it characterizes the atmosphere of this ruin pretty well, but when you think about it, there's a paradoxical element as well to it, because, like, this can be at times a really tense ruin, you know? Like, between everything, all the things that fly at you, and, you know, the slow rate at which you go. So, it could be tense at times, but this music is somehow very soothing. It's kind of strange.
It looks like there's
I think I kind of like the music when I'm not stuck in there myself. Okay, you see, that's how I feel.
See if there's anything you could climb on.
Well, you're gonna be stuck here with me, so...
Oh, joy. Music. Seems like a general experience of a lot of players.
I really hope the water effect thing won't be ruined on the emulator, because, I mean, you know, it does have some weird problems with, like, the menu.
Oh man, I forgot to tell you to bring the drill in. That comes in
That's
handy.
really high. Too high for you to jump.
I got the lifter.
You know, I hate to say it, but you might want to go back.
Stand on. Maybe you
You
can
get it.
over it.
Bonkers.
I mean, I'm mentioning that because you're gonna hate to go back here to get those walls.
Well, I'm gonna... Yeah, that's true. Alright. Alright, fight over. Hey, Bonkers, no, get down.
Also helps with Claymore, too.
How come I can't move this?
You can only pick it up underwater.
Alright. Can I just... Okay.
It's reasonable, Power Meat, but you should not remember Claymore's name, because in the instruction booklet of Legends 2, he's not called Claymore, he's called Bakoskus, which is actually the same as his Japanese name.
The Discord link is expired? Really? Okay.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Hold on, I'll get a new one.
Get us a new one.
I think it's because of how they changed it recently. Alright. Oh, oops. Hold on.
Oh, while Josh is working that up.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys an exercise. Look at the platform above Mega Man's head there, and try to finger your way through the maze.
Alright, I'll have to put that on here. I'm gonna put that on my to-do list right here. Change
Bring up the maze, never mind.
Discord link. And also do the maze on Legends 2. Alright, it's on there now.
Okay, you know, I'm gonna go copy that link too, because I have a feeling now that in all the 5 island videos I've uploaded so far, I've been posting an expired Discord link. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't shock me that much. I'll have to... I wonder if...
I don't think that maze is cool.
It is
that
doable.
up.
Maybe
I was gonna bring that up, Power Meat, but I wanted folks to figure that out for themselves. And potentially drive themselves crazy in the process.
Well, this dungeon's already good at driving people crazy. So.
Be sizable maze as it is. Hey, here's something to think about. What if that maze on the platform is replicating the maze in the Nino ruins?
Makes sense to me.
Wouldn't that be a revelation?
It'd be a Resident Evil revelation if you catch my drift.
This isn't a hard fight at all. Claymore is pretty easy regardless of which weapon you're using. I mean, I've always found the drill method to be far more amusing.
We'll see. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Oh, you can't do it. Yeah. It is pretty funny. Oh, does this do anything?
Yeah, see, that's the point.
Easy
It's so funny that you have to do it. Yeah, I can agree. I can agree, Cocaine Johnson. It is... You can get around a lot. Most bosses, I think, in the Legend series by just circle strafing. But once you've done that for a time, it gets to the point where it just makes the fights really boring. You know, and you're looking for a way to kind of spice the fights up a bit. So, and that's where the drill comes in handy. And, you know, even more obscure weapons like... Well, I don't know. I guess the landmine is pretty overpowered when you think about it, but it has some really funny uses. Yeah, it is pretty easy. If you sidestep his shots? Oh, okay, we'll have to try that sometime. That seems like a neat way of spicing things up. Saying I understand this game's story, but I still don't know about the races like Carbons, etc. Yeah, there's a very history surrounding the Carbons and where they came from. I mean, I don't think any Legends fan can really say with certainty that he knows where the Carbons came from, or, you know, what they are at the root. And there is a lot of fan speculation, granted, but at the end of the day, I think it really is just that, speculation. So, and all we can do at the end of the day, as a result, is just to come up with our own fan theories as to what the Carbons are.
Never thought I'd see the day. There you go, I guess that works.
Good to hear you had fun with that boss contest via Motive, because we had fun putting it together. It was a really neat experience discussing all those boss entries later on, because we all, after the deadline of that contest hit, all us judges got together in like a big conference call, and, you know, met together to discuss our personal favorites, in addition to the overall favorites. And there were a lot of different opinions going around, but you know, it was a lot of fun discussing what we thought were the perks of the various entries, and you know, that's always fun for us generally.
Are you all right, Mega Man?
Just a bunch of worms.
I mean, being Motive, it's when you a lot of the characters, you know, like Juno, you know, when you think about all the confusion surrounding his gender when you're first introduced to him, I don't think it's that weird to have so much confusion around your entry either, because yours was also a system unit. I think, well, you can't kick, you know.
Kicking was too strong. Oh boy. Here we
Slay.
go. I'm gonna play Zelda's Lullaby here and raise the
It
water.
looks like the floor beneath you is filled with...
Haunted S'mores is getting into the vibe of things already. Hey, hey, hey! Hey, hey, hey!
I think it's
That's what'll get you through this this ruin, Josh, just keep going hey 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 to yourself and get yourself into the rhythm to where this ruin will be no match for you.
Since things are lighter in water, you can pick up things you weren't able to before.
Okay. I gotta go lift up the blocks so I can get up on top. Everything's easy when you're underwater. It's just slow as heck. Oh my god.
It's fat? What's fat? Oh, those are the worst. The time you have to wait to come down. Oh, that waiting time's the worst.
How come I can't escape with this?
Anyone else have trouble? Yeah, just a little bit. I think you'll find that in every playthrough that you see of people tackling those digger tests, they're very rarely able to... Well, I mean, I was going to say get through them on the first time, but I'm more inclined to say get through them at all.
Yeah. You have to be literally perfect.
And you have to employ more than a few exploits that weren't intended to be used in the game. Like, there have literally been, I want to say people have literally come in and shown, you know, scientifically shown, if you will, that the digger test is essentially impossible to complete unless you use the rapid fire exploit. Yeah, scientifically. They've taken it into a lab and dissected it to such an extent to where they know that, you know, that's the case.
I would have said statistically, but I like that better. Scientific.
I do too, so don't ruin such a vivid visual image.
They put studying diseases on hold so they could figure out if, you know, you could do that in one go or not.
A very well-warranted search.
They're like, listen, cancer, you're just gonna have to hold on just a second. We have to figure this thing out really quick. Two of them. They just throw little bubbles in. Oh my god. How do I gotta put the blocks again? Who designed this game?
I take a look at Blue Metal's video here. I mean, not to break up your momentum, of course. The wonderful momentum we have going in this extremely slow ruin. I beat the, well, I make a point to beat the S-Class license test whenever I play Mega Man Legends, regardless of how hard it is. Because that's just the kind of person I am. I'm a perfectionist. I like to get things done 100%. Do have a workaround in most cases, though. I like to play on the harder difficulty, so I won't even have to do the digger tests. I can't say whether that's better or worse, but it's certainly, you know, somewhat reassuring to know you never have to do those tests. Blue Metal saying, since that science was brought up, I want to try it myself. Oh boy. I don't value your mental sanity after a task like that, but good luck to you. If anyone can do it, Blue Metal, it's you. The second worst thing when you're knocked down.
Save me from the nothing. No!
Well, I look forward to seeing your results, Blue Metal. That's gonna be, I dare say, a pretty entertaining experience.
Is this wall breakable? It kind of looks like it.
Answer.
Seems so awkward. It just cuts off. Guess there's nothing there. Okay.
See anything through the wall.
Guess I'll believe it. Ah, no. It wasn't even big, though. Okay.
Crack, not break.
Maybe, sure. Sure.
Just still in Zelda mode here. And he got the yellow lemons now. Rejoice. Man, good money. Hey, Blue Metal, do you know if the money you get in chests is downgraded in the PSP versions to, you know, to accommodate the lower prices in general? Be the same amounts. Okay, gotcha. Ooh, carry that jump the whole way.
Yep. Cool, nothing even in this one. I'm not gonna make that one. I'd be pretty surprised if I did. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
Wow, there's nothing here. What a waste. Alright, well that looks like everything on this floor. Yep.
Yeah, man, that's a really thorough job.
Well, it wasn't easy. It just took forever.
Error saying, have to wait till my Switch is charged to play Mega Splatoon X2. How am I supposed to interpret that remark?
Very carefully.
Oh, nice. The book arrives tomorrow. Okay, be in motive. I'll about that. Yeah, later on. We have a number of things to discuss about, as far as the book, but we have a few other things to iron out before we make that project live.
Z's.
It's not to spoil anything already for anyone else who doesn't know what the heck we're talking about. So to say that we're planning something, another project, and, yeah, I don't want to say a whole lot about it. Oh, that happened. That was embarrassing.
It was.
Don't want to say a whole lot about it right now, but rest assured that we'll be talking about it pretty soon.
hate this.
Oh boy, it's really hard. It's especially hard for people like me who love... I play games to go fast. You know? I do speedruns. I do, like, no-damage playthroughs. I like maintaining my momentum when I play games. So this game is... Or this ruin is just torture for me.
No, you can't Sonic at all in here. This is
Unfortunately
true
not.
despair.
It is, especially since you're blue, you know? You gotta...
Exactly.
Fast.
Just feeling blue, abba-dee, babba-da.
That's another spin on the blue thing.
Yep.
This blue is not blurry enough for my taste, says Power Meep.
Well, too bad.
I mean, if you wanna increase the, well, if you wanna help yourself in that regard, then, I don't know, take off your glasses if you're wearing glasses, or do whatever you can. It's, like, mess up your eyes to where Mega Man looks blurry. But keep in mind that while he's underwater, Mega Man probably looks blurry inherently as it is. I guess it depends on the point of view, though. So.
I hate this.
The...
Surprised that it doesn't.
Not yet.
How come I can't grab a little fish?
Seems like you generally can't grab, well, with the exception of that one mosquito reaver bot in the Calbania, it doesn't seem like you can pick up anything that's flying.
They're not flying, they're underwater. They're swimming.
They're floating then. Does that make any sense?
No!
That's a shame. You better start to readjust your thinking to make it make sense for you.
Also thinking about it, isn't there supposed to be a full screen ripple effect when he's underwater?
Yeah, there is. But, you know, emulators, little...
I like to think this is very...
It's better this way.
I mean, at any rate, whatever... I don't know how much comfort this gives anyone, but at any rate, I like to think this is a very realistic interpretation of somebody walking underwater.
It is. Especially with giant...
Painfully realistic.
It's hyper-realistic. No!
Hyper-realistic underwater walking.
This whole dungeon is like a creepypasta come to life.
I'm surprised you feel compelled to take out every single reaver bot that you're finding.
No, just these guys, because I can just do the big pickup. No! Stop it.
Covered by endless pudding. Oh, toss, yeah. I mean, I'm happy you can at least take those guys out in this game. Oh boy, should I talk about these guys? Got a lot of stuff to say about them.
Ooh, wow. That's almost
that's
a lot of
money.
this game.
Yeah, that'll get you like 2 upgrades.
If I'm even lucky. I can look at an upgrade with that amount of money.
There's a strong current there. You won't be able to get past
Oh, yeah.
it. Wait, there's a switch really close to you.
Is there actually a Mega Man creepypasta? I'm sure there is somewhere. I don't know.
Probably. That has to do with like Proto Man or something. Took off his glasses and there was hyper realistic eyes under them.
It has actually been officially shown what's under Proto Man's glasses. And I want to see, actually, I want to take a stop for a moment and see if anyone knows just what the answer is.
I know what it is.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. No! Ah, I hate this.
Pompadour. No, not his hair.
Yeah.
I'm talking about immediately in his facial area. There's another set of glasses behind his first set.
Yeah.
I remember seeing another. I'm always talking about Mini Mega, that comic strip that I think was run by Press Start, but he made another. There was another comic that he made a while back, depicting what was behind Proto Man's second set of glasses. Josh, I'll give you the opportunity to guess just what that was.
More glasses.
Got it.
I found 3 Reaver bots nearby. They're big ones too. Be careful.
His eyes like Brock from Pokemon. Hey, I mean, I'm not gonna rule out the possibility. Anything can happen in the world of Mega Man.
Stuff like that always makes me think of this one Garfield cartoon way back when. There was this character that was like a chicken egg, but with like chicken legs sticking out of it. So you never got to see his body. At one episode, he was finally gonna hatch, and then when he hatched, it was just still the egg.
Oh.
Just had like another egg around him.
Yeah, that throws that popular philosophic notion for a loop.
Yep.
Pose that question to our chat, guys. Which do you think came first, the chicken or the egg? Now that might be too deep for a lot of us. I know it is for me.
The chicken, dude.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it's only sensical to, once you ask that question and get someone to answer it, not ask for the reasoning by which they deduced that statement.
Yep. Don't ask me. I'll probably say something dumb.
Just gets rolled up. Who remembers that character that you talked about?
Oh yeah. I'm glad somebody actually remembered. I always just thought that was funny. Time travel. Alright, if you want me to get real, I think personally, like, chicken came first, right? But it evolved into something that could, like, lay eggs or whatever. So then it laid the egg and then the chicken. But then wait, then I guess that would be the egg then, right? Because that would, if it was like a chicken, like kind of a chicken, but then it laid an egg, and then that egg became what we now know as chickens. But the chicken,
You're officially
and technically coming first then, because I mean a chicken did kind of lay it, but then the egg, right? It was actually like a real chicken.
Sounds to me like you're establishing the chicken as the origin of species.
Yeah, see? I mean, like think about it.
I think I evolved from a chicken, god dang it.
Yeah. Like, you know, there's, like, how turtles can, like, live on land and whatever. Like, some of them evolved. Like, one of them was, like, living on land all the time. One of them was like, well, I like the ocean, so I'm gonna go live there. And eventually, like, they figure out how to do it. That's what animals do. They, like, adapt. And, like, they, like, breed and whatever. They pass on the knowledge, like, listen, bro, there's gonna be all this stuff going on. We're gonna equip you with some of these, so it'll be better for it. They're like, oh, thanks, Dad. That's what happens.
Oh man, so life hacks before even life hacks were a thing, eh?
Basically, think about it. I mean, I do have a gross example that I'm not gonna say because it's definitely not appropriate, but it would tie into that theory. So the animals do just evolve like that. Because they're crazy. Whoa. Boy. T-Rex came for Well, if we're gonna go by Splatoon logic, Splatoon 2 had a Splatfest, which is kind of like pick one or the other, and then like whatever team wins, like gets a prize or whatever. But by their own rules, that is under law, whatever wins is the correct answer. So like the first one they did is ice cream better than cake or whatever. I picked ice cream, and then ice cream won, and then like at the end of that, they're like, well, you know, by Splatoon Book 101, Section 3-4, whatever wins the Splatfest is legally correct or something like that. So, if we're going to go by that logic, then the chicken definitely came first. Because that's what won that one.
Okay,
so.
I thought you were deliberately saying there that the ice cream was the origin of species, no?
Yeah, that too. What a battle.
I know. Is it any wonder we're going off on such ridiculous tangents in such a insane ruin?
I love doing barely any damage. So we're gonna go. My attack is like level 3 right now, and I'm still doing like nothing.
It's very hard mode.
Oh, it's annoying.
Just walk up to them and drill them.
No.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, this ruin is why we don't have Mega Man Legends 3. That's probably what happened during development. That's why they've been so quiet. Everyone at Capcom's been so traumatized by this ruin, they don't want to bring it up again.
Dang, that's dark.
Yep, just like this ruin.
And to split your focus like this, there's so much action to concentrate on, says Power Me. Okay, yeah, let's get into some real talk now. Berserker's saying, I feel like Mega Man Legends 3 will come out in the next 2 or 3 years.
I feel like that's a possibility.
I think it's a very safe estimate, especially, you know, this all hinges, I think, on whether a Legends Collection comes out. If a Legends Collection doesn't come out, there will simply be no means for Capcom to gauge the popularity of Legends. And granted, you know, we do have the PSN re-releases. Those were great for, you know, for the time in which they were released. But, you know, now we're moving on. People are moving out of PS4, PS3, PS Vita, and PSP, which were the systems that those games were re-released on PSN. And since they're moving out of those systems now and moving on to PS4, we're kind of zoning out of that opportunity to support Legends again. So now we're gonna. I feel like in order to get Legends 3, we're gonna have a renewed, almost like a renewed opportunity to show our support for Legends 3, and I can't see how that would happen any other way than a Legends collection.
You know, now that I think about it,
Release on PS4. Okay, that's another very viable opportunity.
Definitely do that so I can play it again. I don't have a PS3. I do have a PSP, but I'd rather have, you know, on a traditional console.
Right. Before that?
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. If like, you know, like to kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier, if like Legacy Collection doing so well is what led to one of the main big reasons why we're getting, you know, Mega Man 11. And how about all the sales that, you know, Legends had on the PSN? Especially when it first came out, it was like, what, 4 months in a row where it was #1, or at least on the chart?
Yeah. On the top classics, PSN classics thing.
Right.
Yeah, the top 10. It was the top 10 PS Classics list, and yeah, it was beating out games like
Came out Grand Theft Auto on one.
Mine.
I remember that.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto. So yeah, those were pretty good sales.
So it's like, you know, I wonder if that really means anything to him as well. I mean, I know that was definitely a couple years ago, but I mean, now that, you know, they're finally like, you know what, let's make Mega Man games again. I kind of wonder if that'll influence them at all to do anything.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, it's really nice to know that Capcom was so influenced by those Legacy Collection sales, because now I feel like we have a precedent. You know, they've set a precedent that, you know, that will enable fans of other series to, you know, support the games that they want sequels of. So, you know, there's us, of course, and in that respect, I'm really hoping that, like, if we get, and just rounding out this whole, oh man, you're in deep doo-doo now.
Yeah, if I couldn't go any slower, here it is.
But yeah, you know, I think if Legends Collection happened within, I'm gonna say a reasonable time for Legends Collection to happen is 2 years from now. I'm gonna say 2 years because I think in that time we'll have X9. And Legends, I think Legends is the next logical step after X9.
I think so.
So, you know, if we'll get maybe a Legends Collection in 2 years, then maybe I'm gonna say a year after that we can expect something in the realm of Legends 3. But hey, I'm just guesstimating. Blue Metal, I would think that it would have to have Lifter involved. Yeah, I mean, Lifter is legitimate, I think. Like, it feels like the Digger's test is specifically made so that you can get in good practice with a Lifter. So, I mean, I think, yeah, I believe that you could use the Lifter.
What's up with Red Ash? Who knows?
I know, I'm mystified.
It's just a mystery.
Right, you know, I was talking with HF about Red Ash the other day. He was asking me what I thought about that, what my opinions were about it. And when it first came out, I was looking forward to it, and to a certain degree, this is how I feel now. I was looking forward to it with the same anticipation as any game that followed the Legends formula, you know, Legends gameplay, and that tried to maintain that same Saturday morning cartoon vibe that Legends series did so well. Yeah, so that's how I feel about Red Ash itself. And, you know, in that respect, I am still looking forward to it, and I really hope we get some kind of announcement soon enough. Like, I really do hope, for all the problems that that game encountered in production, I really do hope we get something, we hear something about it soon enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I know Level 5 bought out Concept, but I mean, like, that game, it was getting published by some, like, weird Chinese company, so I don't know if Level 5 is actually helping them with that or whatever they're doing.
It's a very valid question at this point. I really don't know myself what's up with that Chinese company. Think there are enough sharks there? I was going to touch upon Level 5, though. Like, if they are seriously, and I don't know if they are, granted, but if they are involved in the production of Red Ash, how cool a game will that end up being? Like, man, Level 5 has just made some great games that I feel have really resonated with Legends. So if they were helping with a project that's supposed to follow in the footsteps of Legends, how awesome will that series have the potential to be? Yeah, I remember, Lino Bro, when we played the demo for that, it was bare bones. And that much is for sure. I really don't think it was supposed to, I mean, well, there was certainly no combat in it, for one thing, so... I don't think it was intended to be a, you know, a real, genuine proof of concept. Did have, yeah, Morpheus is bringing up that they did have the Red Ash Gear World short CG anime. I did watch that, and I must say I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, I was a little disappointed that it ended on a cliffhanger. Imagine Inafune's moxie there, making a cliffhanger for a series that is pretty infamous for its cliffhanger. But oh man, I thoroughly enjoyed that what do you want to call it? OVA, I guess. And yeah, like if the game had the same atmosphere as that anime, I think again it has the potential to be something really special.
That's just kind of the problem with Inafune's mindset at the time, where he was just trying to make franchises instead of games. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, doing so much at one time. But, you know, I mean, I guess that's when you look at the long scheme of things, the long term. That's how it seems like that's just how we rolled with Mega Man in general. You know, with all these various Mega Man series and games coming out one after another. It seemed like that was kind of the mindset that Mega Man was built around. Like the constant stream of things happening one after another, which can, and you know, there's both a good and bad point of that, I think. But no, I think in some respects, and that was kind of the mindset for making Mega Man games. Those are just my two cents, though. Yeah, I have to wonder if Red Ash is getting canceled too. And of course, I think if it were canceled, we would never hear anything about that.
Yeah.
It would just be something that like died off in silence and was never seen again. But hey, I'm being genuinely honest in saying that I really hope it's not canceled. I really hope it does end up coming out and, you know, being something pretty cool. Actually, we're gonna intervene there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like that game that C. Felix just mentioned, the Kaio King of Pirates, where it got introduced years ago, and then after years of nothing, they're like, "Oh yeah, it got canceled, by the way." It's kind of
yeah.
It's kind of what I'm thinking about with Red Ash. We'll see what happens.
Indeed, yeah. It's impossible to know what's happening right now.
Kind of like to see what happens if when like Concept and Level 5 actually like team up to do something. Be interesting to see. I still think Mighty Number 9 has potential. They just need to not be dumb with it, I guess, for lack of a better term. Because I mean, what's that one called? Mighty Gunvolt Burst. I like that one a lot. And that's basically just like Mighty Number 9, really, if you think about it.
Well, I don't think it's... I mean, I think it's important to keep in mind that Mighty Number 9, while it does, in general, have a pretty strong backlash, it does have a pretty passionate cult following as well.
I mean, I don't think it's the worst. It's just... that game is just okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I operate from as well. I never really did think it deserved the hatred. Now, the Kickstarter, that deserved a lot of backlash. But the game itself... The game itself, I feel, is pretty... It got some pretty undeserved backlash in many respects.
Yeah, the game is okay.
Berserk Blitz is saying with some rather passionate emojis, "Get rid of Red Ash, I want MML 3. Comments here.
Without stutter or lifter and recording it just in case. Had a bit over 30 seconds left. I have a hard time believing that. I mean, I know you have the skill, but that's just insane.
Yeah, you did that just now, Blue Metal?
Apparently you did.
What the? Who the heck is this guy? Guys, Blue Metal just cleared, apparently anyway. He doesn't seem like the lying sort to me, honestly.
Yeah.
But and we have every reason to believe he has the skill to do this, to be fair. But he apparently just cleared the S-rank digger test in Legends 2 without using Buster Stutter. Stutter, I think. That is insanity incarnate. Yeah, give us the proof, Blue Meadow. I want to see the proof.
Big Sur didn't happen.
How can you have 30 seconds left, Blue Meadow?
Yeah, I'm gonna put this on the stream. We all need to watch this and be like, what?
Yeah, seriously, for real, that is insanity. Oh, Morpheus, you just saw episode 3 of the Five Island dub. You know, Morpheus, and I feel like I should aim this toward everyone who's watching right now. I gotta issue a huge apology to everyone who was waiting on that series. You know, it was just a lot of things that happened at one time, and after a point we essentially just lost the resources to continue that project. But, you know, it was always something that we did want to come back to, because it was a very... it was a fun project, you know? It was a really fun little game with a, you know, some hilarious character interactions, a funny story, and just, it was a really fascinating piece of Mega Man Legends history. And, like, we were I knew, you know, all of us knew that we were the only people who could get a hold of footage for that. So we always felt that pressure on us to keep, you know, continue the series. But, you know, hey, you can only do so much. And when it comes to the point that you just have project after project, and you want to do this thing, you want to continue doing these other projects, and it just gets overwhelming after a while. But, I mean, I really do want to say there was no excuse for how long we kept that series on the back burner. So, hey, you know, I'm leveling with you guys here. I really do feel bad that we kept that series on the back burner for so long. And I hope we'll be able to make it up for you folks from now on with a continuous stream of updates for that project.
Sorry we Capcom'd you. It wasn't our intention.
Yeah, it's... oh man, imagine the pressure on us guys to ever cancel anything we do.
Yeah, that would literally be the worst thing we could do.
Yeah, we're always keeping in mind the irony that would result of us canceling anything that we do, because we're an organization built around reviving a canceled project. Like, how ironic would that be to cancel the stuff we do to support that canceled project?
Cancellation PTSD. Yep. I feel like everything kind of does drop a good amount of money. I don't know. Who is that? Negade 12. Thanks for the follow. Gotta go and look that up real quick.
Are we streaming on YouTube?
Yeah.
Got it.
No, I disabled the chat this time, so like for real. So,
I mean,
hey, I
wish we could.
Fair and square. I put, go over here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one way you could do it, but I feel like we really ought to be paying tribute to the people who, prefer YouTube to Twitch. Oh, since I'm on the subject of apologizing, I might as well apologize to our viewers on YouTube who can't comment on that
There is
service.
this one thing that I used to use, but I don't use it anymore for a very good reason. But there's a thing I used to use that would have the chats all combined. However,
I
if
never
people
would've
are
thought there'd
talking
be a
too
place
much,
like this
it'll
here.
activate the spam filter on Twitch and it can get the
Mega
channel
Man,
bans.
there's a giant reaver boss
Oh,
in the middle of
gosh.
that area.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna turn that back on.
It doesn't look like it's going to attack you though. Hey, I've
I
got
gotta
an
walk
idea.
along.
Why don't you try jumping on that reaver bot's back?
I always felt, first term that comes to my mind, but it's always been, like... I've always just thought it was a really cool Reaver bot, because it's not, well, unless you really make a point to aggravate it, it doesn't attack you. You know, it's just kind of there to help you out, and that's like the only Reaver bot of its kind that, is programmed like that, you know, to just help you navigate around that big room. Reaver Rider. Pretty much.
Is that the video? Is that the
I think that's the video.
Alright.
Okay.
We're gonna put a quick pause to this game.
Get your popcorn, folks.
Yeah, no stuttering plus no lifter. Alright. Hold on, let me hold on. Give me just a moment. Let me turn that off for a second. Nope. Hold on. Nope, not that one. We don't need chat on here 3 times. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Alright, let me go ahead. I'll just put the chat above this one. There we go. Alright. Alright, let's see it.
I believe he's not using the stutter. After so far.
This must have been very instinctually tough to not use the the Buster exploit.
Yeah. Blue Metal was doing when he had to wait for this Buster to take these guys down. Like, did he have his other hand on a mug of coffee or something?
Yeah.
Like he's just standing still, holding the button while he's doing that.
Yeah.
So like, man, Blue Metal, your other hand must have been itching for something to do.
Wow.
Oh my god. Oh wow. And that maneuvering. And ooh.
He knows all the right spots. I'm trying to set
Oh, you got him in a loop. can't believe he's not using the lifter.
Yeah, I know.
This madman is not using the freaking lifter. He's not using the house. He's not using the lifter. This is crazy.
Look, and he even got hit. Look at that. That's crazy. And you have to do it perfect. Wow.
Okay.
Oh, got hit twice.
Now,
Man. You still had 30 seconds left, huh?
Get hit by those bomb enemies. I'm interested to see if if he'll get hit by those. How he has all these bombs trailing him from the back.
I know.
He has his own.
Wow, and he killed all of them like one shot.
Not using the lifter. The other guy isn't even active. Oh man.
What am I even watching? This is just crazy.
Yeah, I know. I am mystified as to how he's able to do that without even attracting the other guy's attention. That guy was napping. Just. Oh, that was crazy. Of course, those guys aren't going to be a problem. Nice. A minute! He has a full minute and he's in the last room! He didn't use a lifter, he didn't use a buster stutter. This is... this is insanity incarnate. Meadow, this cracks me up because it doesn't even look like any of the enemies want to attack you.
I know. I'm just like, that blue kid again.
You know how to manipulate them so well to the point where they don't even try to attack you. That's insane. 32 seconds. Okay, wow. You know what? I'm done. I'm never playing Mega Man Legends 2 again.
Yeah, you know, our run is done. I'm gonna hand over the controller over to Blue Metal. He's gonna take it over. Let us have it. Wow, that is something. So who's ready to see me play really horrible again, right? The absolute madman just went for it.
Yeah, seriously. Hey, round of applause. No, that was a completely noble endeavor. Oh, not using the buster, the rapid buster exploit is one thing. Not using the lifter is another. Lifter was mandatory, and that the guild, that test was almost like, a place where you were supposed to test out your lifting abilities, you know? Yeah. Hone your skills for the lifter. It's crazy. I didn't think it was even possible to get through without using the lifter.
We gotta like post it on the page, man. We gotta share that around.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, you literally disprove science.
Yeah, Josh, I'm gonna let you do that. You haven't posted anything for a while.
I sure haven't. Okay, let me put that on my to-do list. Post S rank thingy. There we go. That's all I need to remember.
But you might want to put that before the maze, though, because the maze is going to take you longer.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. I'll rearrange the list. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, if anybody was going to do it, it would definitely be you, but it was still crazy to watch.
Yeah, oh, definitely do make it public, Blue Metal. That's, we'd appreciate that. We want to give you internet fame. Well, you have internet fame already, but hey.
So, done here. Just gotta go back to that room.
Digger, when you post that video, make a note to emphasize the lack of, you know, the non-use of the lifter and non-use of the rapid buster exploit. That is key.
Very key. go back to HDQ. We need that. That needs to be part of the event.
Seriously, yeah. What a weird transition going from that super fast run to this super slow run.
I know, right? Just to make this seem even slower than it already is.
Now you're riding on a creature that is even slower than your movement speed underwater, so...
No, too low.
You see the large pillar in the middle of that area? On my scanner, I can see what looks like a key.
Oh, cool. Where in Cali, Blue Metal?
I don't know, they're doing another one. Is it like an unofficial one or something like it?
Hey, I live near there. Check it out. When's it happening? In TwitchCon, eh? Huh. I am going to look into that. That would be a pretty cool thing to attend.
Oh, come on. Yes.
Oh man, so that's right around when Mega Man 11 releases.
Oh, yeah. Water keys. Is there another, like, treasure in here? I feel like there should be. I guess we gotta fill up this room anyway. Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Blue Metal has certainly done his part to give exposure to not just the Mega Man Legends speedrunning community, but Mega Man Legends itself. He was at AGDQ that, I want to say a year or two ago. He was also at MagFest, participating in the Mega Manathon. So, two really big events.
I think 2016 was the year? For the AGDQ run?
Okay, huh.
Not 100% sure.
It's awesome. There has literally been... I mean, I have never been there myself, but I'm in contact with a lot of the people who are involved with the Mega Man Circle at MagFest. I can't exactly remember what it's called at the moment, but there is a Mega Man, a very passionate Mega Man fan circle within MagFest, and I'm associated with a number of those people, and there's literally no one I know who goes to MagFest and is not a really cool dude. Like, it seems like everyone who I know who goes to MagFest is just awesome. Especially within the Mega Man community. Yeah, just some seriously passionate folks who love what they do.
Come here, you.
One picture today, biggest film. Mega Man Legends picture, Berserker. Well, hey, I mean, like I was saying earlier, that stuff is very, very inspiring to, especially to people who don't have artistic talent like myself.
No.
Fighter presence at MakeFest? I wouldn't be surprised. Street Fighter's everywhere.
No, my
Oh boy.
Legacy collection.
Yeah. Josh, if we do get a Legends Legacy collection, and you mess up, and you have to say your legacy, like, wouldn't that,
It's 'cause
I know, that would be a...
That would be my contributing to the Legend series.
Oh.
No! Fish!
Oh boy.
Oh my god,
I love Street Fighter, but they're the worst fan base ever. Sorry to hear.
Nah, it's just because they're fighting
Yeah.
games.
I was gonna say, yeah, when you're getting involved with a... Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, when you're getting involved with a competitive fan base,
you know, surrounding a competitive series, it's, you know, chances are higher you're gonna get a lot more, what do I want to say? Get a lot more angry people.
I'm calling the police.
Question with Five Island Adventure. You know, Five Island Adventure, I feel like it was a real pain to play on the system it came out on. But if it were adapted for, I don't know, a modern console, and I don't even mean necessarily that you have to up the graphics. The graphics are, you know, decent. You can find your way around the game pretty easily in the graphical department. Touch up the graphics even, but, you know, like, just put the game on a modern gaming console to where, you know, you could actually wrap your hands around a controller. I think it would lend itself very well to, you know, a fun experience. On that note, we have actually gotten requests to find a way of, like, exporting the Five Island file to, you know, for archival purposes. You know, because there's a lot of priority right now. We're feeling a lot of priority to archive those games because they were recently discontinued in Japan. So you can't buy them anymore. The people who own them, who bought the game, are like the only people who can have access to it now. So right now we're kind of trying to explore a method of exporting that file, you know, for both archival purposes and maybe, you know, for the really talented programmers out there, finding a way to, like, adapt it for a, you know, a solid gameplay experience. But it's proving to be a really difficult task so far, I gotta say. I believe the game was only designed so that, or this was the thing I was getting, the idea I was getting from Suzakaze, who got us that footage for the Five Island dubs in the first place. He was giving me the impression that the games were only available to play online. Factor in online technicalities, and you got a big mess, a big programming mess to contend with.
Right.
But hey, you know, one of the principles of our fan base, one of the principles of our page, is to keep going. You know, just keep treading on patiently, doing what we can, not expecting a change overnight, but, you know, doing what we can to make a change of some sort.
Seems more like it had to be something that you'd have to remake from scratch instead of, like, porting or whatever.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
But it's got a bunch of ancient, not very common technology. Oh, land, air, movement, speed. Oh.
Oh boy, you are pretty much encapsulating the reactions of everyone who finds data here.
Man, I'm so glad to see you. That was like an hour. Oh my god, if I would have died at any point, I would have... Oof.
It looks like the key is in the room at the end of this passageway.
It's an experience.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there was recently released a patch for Rockman EXE Operate Shooting Star, an English patch for that game. And Josh, I want to target this at you specifically. Okay. You who had a very bad experience with the first Mega Man's Battle Network game.
I sure did.
I would like you to play Operate Shooting Star, which is essentially a remake of the first game, but a infinitely better remake where all the mechanics have been vastly improved.
Good work, Mega Man.
Sounds like a worthy challenge. Speaking of a worthy challenge.
I don't believe it.
Indeed. Well, I mean, this guy's kind of a chump, but...
Just pretend, okay?
If you think I'm a pushover like Bola, you've got another thing coming to you. I work for a living. I don't hold back.
The Claymore is awesome.
Not even if I have to
fight
a little kid like you.
He is literally
past me.
Just a big tin can.
I like it.
If you aren't going to hand it over nicely, I'll just have to take it from you.
Hey, get in that drill action. When you can, when. There we go. That's how it's done.
For a kid. You're not such a pushover. I haven't
Oh.
had this much fun in a long time. You wait.
This thing's fun.
I'll be back.
Two
Was a flawless
easy for
victory.
me. It's pretty flawless except for that one time when I got hit.
Jack Attack, who just said hi earlier. We never quite did return that welcome. So, hello, welcome to our
Hey,
stream, and we hope you enjoy your stay.
Where did Data go? I wanted to save again and get my life force. No. Oh wait. Okay.
I like how he was shooting at you directly and still didn't hit you.
Yeah, I'm pretty good, huh? Oh yeah. Cleft it, nice. That's real breaker.
We'll see how the second fight goes. Hey, what ho, Mir? Nice to have you on board, as always. Enjoy your stay.
Just want to make sure I haven't missed. Welcome back. I guess I missed a couple of rooms here. Let's see.
Big no-no.
I'm gonna amend for my sins, okay? Just hold on. Give me just a moment. Yeah. How come I haven't been in here? I want to see this room here with my own eye.
You think, Mir, that all games today feel like Legends?
Yep, every single game.
Saying here, it's funny how all games today feel like Legends. Could just be 3D games, but maybe Legends was kind of ahead of its time, in a way. Yeah, I mean, you'll never find a time when I'm not saying that, personally.
No.
Yeah, there was just, and it had so much going for it. The first game had so much going for it at the time it was released.
Okay, cool. Now I got the map thingy.
Nice.
Missed a big chunk over there. Secret room over there. Okay, well now we know where it is.
Some people looked down on Legends back then, but nowadays we can appreciate this more than... You know, I don't even have to finish the sentence.
I can appreciate a parking ticket more than X7, okay?
Hey, Josh already finished the sentence, Morpheus. But I can assure you, nobody was wondering. Like, you could have left that blank and nobody would even bother questioning what that game would be. When did Legends 2 came out? In the ripe year of 2000. Years after the first game, which is quite impressive. I'll be right back again. I gotta check something.
No, Ocarina of Time is 98. '96 is Mario 64 when the Nintendo 64 launched, and then 2001 is Majora's Mask, I think. Yeah, I got all three of them off PSN, and I haven't really been able to play them because I don't have a PS3. I have a PSP, but they're kind of annoying to play on there. Mostly because you don't like have a lock-on button at all. Yeah, there was some good stuff at E3 this year. I thought it was a pretty good showing. Only presentations that were really weak was Sony and Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo had Smash, which was really good. Sony's games I didn't really care for. Oh, I'm really glad I didn't come in here when the water was full. This will get me to the secret room. Yeah, well, I'll probably attack them. No. Never again. What else do we got here? There's a chest over there. Is that the only one on the floor? Oh, there's a chest right there. I can't tell if I got that one. I think if they're glowing... Oh, maybe I did get that one already. I guess we'll see. Well, if it makes you feel better, I don't really like Metroid that much. I don't know. A lot of, like, backtracking and... I don't know. I'm not really into it, I guess. I'm not really into Metroid Prime either. I don't know, it's just not my thing. I'm not really a big fan of the Metroidvania, like, type of game. So, I guess the only exception is ZX.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, that's... I guess something about that game I just liked enough to do it for me. Because, oh, okay. So if they're not... Okay, so I already opened the other one over there then. Because what's it called? That game Hollow Knight, which came out not too long ago. I think it just came out last year. That game's kind of alright, but too much like getting lost and looking around for one tiny little thing, and I'm just like, forget it. Like I like that game, but I don't know. I kind of just got a little bored of it, I guess, just because it was too much running around looking for stuff without like something happening and getting lost a lot. And, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really feel like that happened with ZX, but I mean, like, you know, Skybane was also there to help me out, so that's probably a reason why.
That's true. Yeah, you would have gotten lost.
Yeah, so I mean, that's definitely a big help, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I just like how it worked in ZX, so.
Yeah, well, that's very interesting to hear because a common complaint of Mega Man ZX, the first game anyway, is that it has a really convoluted map system.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it definitely does. it's. I mean, like it is.
I'm impressed to hear you say that.
I don't know. I just liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't even think you need the map so long as you do some proper exploration.
Yeah, I mean that game's not that big. Hollow Knight feels like gigantic.
X3 was a thing if you have a final battle like in the Nino Ruins, or what would be the Nino Ruins. Well, ZX Advent kind of had something like that with the underwater volcano segment, and granted there's no underwater volcano here, but it was underwater, so that counts.
There you go. All
right.
Adds up again. See if I got all.
They'll do one as the X3.
Okay, I got the treasure there and treasure there. Actually, you know what? Let's. Oops, wrong button. No. Okay, right. I got all that treasure. And all that treasure.
But yeah, Mir, thanks for reminding me about that. There is a month left to participate in our Mega Man Legends 2 Cliffhanger Resolution contest. So, it's essentially a fanfiction contest where you are writing a story to resolve the ending of Mega Man Legends 2. So, it's essentially taking place, your story is essentially taking place in a post-Mega Man Legends 2 timeline. So, think like while Roll and Tron are building the rocket, or or around that time. We don't want to make it too strict. Yeah, that's a contest that's going on right now until July 18th, which will, by the way, mark the what is it, like the 7th? I want to say the 7th anniversary of the cancellation. So yeah, yeah, that's happening right now. So if you're a writer and you like making Mega Man Legends fanfictions, hey, go ahead and participate in that. We have some pretty cool prizes on board as well, such as the Dark Mega Man Volnet figure, which is extremely rare to come by now. It was a New York Comic Con and Wonderfest exclusive, so pretty limited supplies, but we managed to get a hold of one, and we're offering that as one of the prizes, kind of the most attractive prize, I guess. But we're also offering some, I want to say, a poster of our Mega Man Legends 3 anniversary art that we put out at the end of December last year, and some feed. Oh yeah, let's see, a Mega Man Volnet. I want to say 17-inch bead sprite based on Volnet's sprite work from what was it? Namco Cross Capcom. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So some pretty cool stuff. I'd like to think that if you're interested, go ahead and participate in that. But Barrett, yes, it can have Barrett in it. Man, I like Barrett. I really wish he got more love in the time that he was around.
I thought I told you to wait.
But speaking of characters who deserve love, here we have Claymore.
Gotten this far. A little more, and I would have lost you. Okay then, ready for another round?
Well, that was even quicker than the first fight.
I know.
That's a big gun you've got, but it's not enough to hurt me.
I think I told you to bring the drill, huh?
You kids, do they think you're so hot? Well, there's still some fight left in this old man. I'll...
Right where I drilled him.
My back. Ow, 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 ow. I can't move. Somebody, help me.
I thought I was supposed to be your partner.
Pull a gun.
We're willing to call it a draw if you are, boy. Come on, Claymore. Let's go.
Oh, if it weren't for my back.
That's a great scene.
Yeah.
He is ultra injured.
But he's acting up.
Yeah. Alright, finally that slog is over. Oh, man.
Goodness.
Jeez, that was like half the stream. Had to have been. Took so long.
I'm surprised we decided to tackle that today.
I know. I don't know. I just kind of like, well, I guess we're going for it.
Glad you were thinking more like, let's get this over with.
Yeah, it's it.
Very productive stream.
Very, very productive. I know, and the worst part is, if I didn't switch to the, the Buster Cannon at that one point, I think I'd just barely be done with it as of right now.
Yeah, it's a good thing you switched.
I finally would have had it.
Well, thanks, Berserker. Glad you liked the stream, and catch you later. Thanks, nice to hang out with you, and chat with you about some Mega Mans.
I'd say it's a good point to wrap it up anyway. I'm going on 3
I think so,
hours.
yeah. Oh man, I wanted you to try out that try out that X-Over game.
I guess we can do that really quick. Let me just say.
Okay, I would like to do a little bonus round for that because there's a really, there's a really awesome moment in there that I really wanted to spotlight.
Well, you want me to do it
before
right
it becomes
now,
mainstream. Yeah, let's do it right now.
Alright,
You have time. I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We can do it. Well,
Shove
if you
it
got
down
any
your throat.
news, you might as well get it out there while I get this all ready.
Oh yeah, I never gave you the link to that, did I?
Nope, you sure didn't. This is that.
See if I can get that.
Oh yeah, it's a DS game.
Maverick X, a name that does not even need specification. Maverick X is a pretty well-known artist in the Mega Man Legends fan base, or well, Mega Man franchise, Mega Man fan base in general, I guess.
There we go.
Josh. Yeah, posting the link right now. It's on DeviantArt. It's a Flash game.
Right.
The controls, as you might expect from a Flash game that's on DeviantArt, they're not the. Sometimes they aren't.
Oh, this is probably gonna be loud. Hold on.
So.
Or not? Okay. Oh, got it just in time. This almost blasted everyone's ears off. Everyone should be thanking me right now. Okay. I'll raise it up a tiny bit more.
You can zoom in on the screen.
Oh, this game uses arrow keys.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Joy 2 key, that's the optimal way to do it.
Yeah, my arrow key is kind of messed up right now, but well, I'll give it a shot. Okay. Let me actually get this on screen. Give me just a moment here.
I hate to spoil. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
I'm getting an RTC disconnected notification.
That's strange.
If you can hear me, that's what matters. I was gonna say. What was I gonna? Yeah, I hate to spoil this game for anyone who hasn't played it yet, but I really did feel this. This one particular moment I'm alluding to was very relevant to our interests. Ah yes, there's the link that you can play it from. Second here. This isn't the game.
Huh?
This is in here. No, I don't remember playing in a forest. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh, hot dog. Well, we'll take a look around anyway.
Go ahead and do that. I mean, it's like an earlier version of the same game, but it's not the one I played. Okay, here we go.
Alright, I think this one came out last year.
Here's the real Link.
Oh, the real one. Alright, everyone don't look at this faker. We're done with that one.
Same guy, it just wasn't the same game.
Okay. It's not a way to...
Of Skybane. This is Over One, the protagonist, or one of the protagonists anyway, of Rockman Crossover. He has a pretty cool design. I mean, there are various different ways to pronounce that title, villain. You could call it crossover, I think that's the correct way, but I've also heard people saying X-over, and then my favorite spoof, Rockman Zover.
I think
I was like, Rockman is over. It was a mobile game, but it's not anymore. You can do a double tap thing to speed up your movements a bit. It's not quite a dash, but the speed. So, gotta keep an eye on it. Yeah, I mean, I guess it was kind of a no-effort cash grab, but you might be surprised to hear the game was phenomenally well-received in Japan. So, the game was spectacular. It did phenomenally over there. I don't know why, but it did. You can do an overdrive kind of thing as well with one key. I can't remember which one. K, I think.
Spacebar.
A spacebar. Well, that's easy to remember. I used to use it actually. Ah, never mind. You're approaching the boss, so it's probably best to conserve your overdrive.
That's cool.
Yeah, awesome stuff here. And this wasn't what I was referring to.
No, this is it right here. We can stop playing. We got to see this.
It's a hint of what's to come, let's say. has been here, except it came right after the MML3 prototype was canceled. I mean, I understood it had more to do with just the fans not wanting it. You know, like, I specifically recall Christian Svensson, who was then the senior vice... that's unfortunate. But Christian Svensson, the senior vice president of Capcom America at the time, he came in on the Ask Capcom forum, and he said that the game wasn't coming primarily because the fans didn't want it. You know, there was such an outcry for... such a backlash for this game in the West at the time it was released that, you know, no one really wanted anything to do with it, so... Capcom essentially, I'm under the impression they were just like, okay, I mean, well, if no one wants it, why waste the time and resources putting it out in the West?
I mean, I don't blame them, to be honest.
I don't think I would have enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's more up my alley. Power Me saying, I have a pet peeve for pixel art being rotated. It's a bit awkward.
Yeah,
Kind of
like
breaks the
these
immersion.
guys here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is always weird, but I don't know. I've kind of grown to like it.
Okay, we got a mini boss here. There are two main bosses in this game, and this is the first one. Yeah, you can only hit his head. Use the... you don't have the overdrive yet, actually. Get pretty close to his face. But it does a ton of damage. Hey, you knew what to do there. There you go, nice. Back to the Neo timeline? What's the Neo timeline?
The Neo timeline.
Oh yeah, and don't feel too pressured by this clock here. It's not that strict. Over it. You can jump over a lot of these guys, actually. You can't destroy those, you have to dodge them. You can go under them. That was a mistake. Yeah, whenever you can, try not to defeat those things, because stuff like that happens. Timeline, Mighty Number 9, Blue Hazard, Blue Spiker Gunvolt? Red Ash, if that's what I believe. Ah, okay, well, if we're going with personal interpretations, then I guess anything is possible. You can jump over this guy. Yeah. I was gonna ambush you here. That's it. That's the last of it.
Fine.
One more thing, but as far as the enemies are concerned, that's the last of the grunts. That happens.
I thought it was like a cloud or something.
So you don't want to touch his arms. His weak point is weak point is the red eye. Hit it at any time that he's not in the background. Yeah, you're gotta speed up sometimes. Okay, go in the back. Yeah, there's some really tight time in there. That's probably his hardest attack to dodge. Nice. It's a big time rift. Or two normal-sized ones taped together. Oh, he didn't do that attack against me. Huh. Okay. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Have once gotten hit by that in the 3 times I played through this game. Go. Man, didn't even need the overdrive. Nope. Okay, so nothing happens yet. This is the end of Over 1's timeline, but when you replay through the game, and you'll see what it is, pretty cool.
Easy.
I can now move on. Yeah, do just that when you get there.
I'll refresh the game. That's what it said to do.
We would use S now. Okay, good. I was afraid there for a second. This. Those. There's an emphasis on the word those there. This guy's stronger. He has pretty much the same skills as Over 1, but he can go faster when he uses the boost, and his buster shots are also stronger. Defense, though, unfortunately. I know, right, Cocaine Johnson? It's great. Oh, this isn't the end of it, though. This is not the end of it. Now, if it were just playing as a serve bot, I probably wouldn't want to have, wouldn't have wanted us to play through this. But there's something that happens later on that I thought was really fun to highlight. Oh. think that was enough? It's a surf but has big shiny eyes. They're green if you look at them closely, and I think that's to further the resemblance between and Vent / Ale from Mega Man ZX. Well, there's a nice picture of him right there. Yeah.
There's a nice picture of him right there.
Well, we got a hilarious subtitle coming up. Well, I mean, it's amusing anyway. Like, it's over one of the pieces of art you saw before, but you didn't... It's like, you didn't see it before, so you'll find out in a second. On, yeah. This guy's the main character. There we go.
The mighty rise again.
Boy. Morpheus calling him out there. That's doing enough damage?
Nope. Need to do more.
Try max it. Come on, do it before he fires the laser. Ah. Wow. Okay, you even penetrated the barrier.
What can I say? I'm pretty good.
Second half time. Fancy footwork.
Middle name.
Nice. Hey. Man, that was expertly done. Easy overdrive. Too early. Oh, that was close. Ah, nice.
Perfectly timed.
Okay, here we go.
Time. Oh, nice.
There we go. That's what I wanted to spotlight.
There we go. I like it.
That was good. Canon, by the way.
What?
Servbot finds the Biometal to Mega Merge into a Biometal model Servbot, and he finds the rocket parts to save Mega Man. That's canon. Capcom approves of it.
Clearly. Alright. Well, that was a fun little distraction.
Was, yeah. So you guys can check that out in the link I posted earlier. And I'm going to be posting that on the page as well, so... I guess Josh will have to argue over who gets that first post. Yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps things up here. So we hope you guys enjoyed that little tangent. Hope you and we hope you enjoyed our playthrough of Mega Man Legends 2 as well. So yeah, I guess we pretty much talked about everything we wanted to talk about. So yeah. I guess we'll catch you guys next week with our continued playthrough of Mega Man Legends 2, very hard mode. No
water.
No cutting any corners. Okay, well, I'll see you guys next week, and until next time, keep fighting the good fight. And as always, legends never die.
Legends never die.
All right, see you, folks, and have a fantastic weekend.
Bye-bye.